It's been 27 long years, and it's going to be a rematch with the team that beat us. Knicks, Spurs, NBA Finals preview. Plus, Jets and Giants, they're always up to something. The Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital live on a Monday starts right now.
Let's go! It's time for the talk to you. Cause it's all we're gonna do. And Boy Green is always on the scene. And what you're always bring to live streaming. So get ready. Get ready, cause here they come.
All right, welcome aboard, everybody. Happy Monday. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital at MC Show Digital. Don't forget to like the video on the way in and also hit the thumbs up for liking. And also subscribe. If you're not already a subscriber, you see the link right there, youtube.com/@MC Show Digital. That's where you want to be when you subscribe to our channel. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there before our year anniversary. We are under 75 now, Boy Green, so we're creeping our way towards 1,000. We need a little burst here. We need a little action. I need to do something, I think. I don't know if I'm going to do a big giveaway. I don't know what I got to do. We're going to do something. We'll get close. I want this thing. I want to try to get to 1,000 before our one-year anniversary.
73.
All right, 73 away. Come on, you got to know 73 friends, everybody out there. Somebody call, send out to your little, everybody's got like a million contacts on their phone. Hey, subscribe to this button.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Let's start a little thing, I don't know. Maybe I gotta incentivize or something. I just, I want to get us to the finish line a little quicker. I've been anxious about this whole 1,000 thing. We are presented today by our friends at Northeast Roofing Professionals. As always, see them right above us there. That beautiful snow-peaked logo. No snow on the roofs these days here in central New York, but they specialize in replacing roofs and, of course, roof repair as well. See our friends at Northeast Roofing Professionals, NERPCNY.com, especially if you live in the central New York areas of Fayetteville and DeWitt. That's where they specialize. But give them a call either way and see if they will service your area if you are in the greater central New York area. They're not coming down to New York City if you live down there, so you don't have to call our friends. But you can still recommend them to people you know up here. So NERPCNY.com. They've been great to us. And today's video brought to you by our friends at Box Drop. Boy Green just very recently got his king-size mattress at Box Drop.
Can I be honest about that, Lurch?
How's the whole bed thing going now that you're in the king? Are you swimming, Boy Green? Are your arms... your arms out, you're stretching, and you're not even touching her in the bed. How's that all going?
Yeah, so two things here. First off, Lurch, I missed you, man. I was gone for like most of last week.
Should have welcomed you back, yes.
No, that's okay. I bring it up because I missed you, but the thing I missed more was the king-size mattress. Because, like, when I was at my parents' house, I'm on this small-ass bed. I got two kids next to me sideways. We got her. So my shoulder is sore because, like, I had to lay at a weird angle to fit everyone on the bed. And I have to be honest, when I'm driving back, it ends up being like an 8 or 9 hour drive because there's traffic and all kinds of other crap. So I'm driving back yesterday and it just hit me like, as you get through a lull, you're just staring at the road for like 8 hours. The thing that motivated me was like, oh my God, my bed, it's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to be back in the bed. So that gave me a second gear kick while I was driving home yesterday. And yesterday, when I just burst open the door and looked at it, I just went, baby, I missed you. And I hugged it. I jumped on top of it. Oh, yeah, I'm swimming in the bed. It is interesting, though, that you would think, okay, before, woman, man, 2 children, like, oh, that was tight before. Bigger space, less tight. But people like adapt to their situations. More room allows me to stretch even more. So my kids are doing like snow angels in the middle of the bed, still a little tight, but it's less tight. I could shove them over now. Oh yeah, it's spectacular. So Paul, it was a dream. Thank you so much. The pillow, my fiance I bought that fancy pillow that Paul diagnosed her with. He's the doctor of sleep. So like he said, she tried a few pillows. And he said, oh, this is the one. Gave it to her. And she went, oh, and she loved it. And then she said, oh, we're buying. I don't know what mattress we're buying. I know we're buying this pillow. And I went, okay. And we bought it with everything else. And when we went on the trip, she said, did you grab my pillow? like, oh, it has to come on the trip. So she brought the pillow on the trip and everything. So Paul did a marvelous job. So shout out to Paul. But yes, I will be. I missed you, Lurch. Of course, I missed the show. Missed the people. The 12th man children out there. I don't know if that's a plural form of all the people out there, but the 12th man children, all the children out there. Missed all you guys, but I missed the king size mattress even more.
Yeah, I'm a pillow traveler too. I've had pillow with
Okay.
will travel. If
Ooh.
I'm plain, I probably won't. But if it's any kind of drive, the pillow's in the car. It's in the
Yeah.
luggage.
I feel like I don't know if that's a social dynamic. Some people don't care. They will bring their pillow on the plane. I don't know if I'm like, ugh, I'm just not ready to go below that line. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
ever going to be willing to go below that line to have a full size pillow. You're allowed to bring it, I guess, but like, I don't know
yeah,
if I would ever do that. So, yeah.
yeah. Probably counts as an extra item, otherwise they charge you $50 or something. So, you got to watch what you're bringing on planes these days, how many you have, and
Yeah.
what's the size and all that kind of stuff. All right, good to be back on a Monday. And by the way, welcome to June. June the 1st today, Boy Green. We're officially in June. So here we go with the month of June, my favorite month of the year. Let's see if it lives up to its billing. I remember a few years ago, I was so looking forward to June, and then it rained the whole month of June here in central New York. Like every other day it was raining. Every weekend it rained. I was like, this is the worst June ever. I was so mad. So hopefully this won't be the case. We are off to a brilliant start today. Brilliant start in the month of June. It's going to be 70 and sunny here today, Boy Green. A nice sunny day. I got golf league later this afternoon, so I'll be back out on the golf course. I tweaked my back last week. I didn't even tell any of the viewers that I was doing some weeding in the yard and was yanking out some weeds. And I was like, oh, uh-oh. So I wasn't like unable to get around, but I do much. I was like ice in my back and, it was bad. I was like, good grief, man.
So why is this now a thing for adults? I'm getting older, and I feel like when I see an NFL player in the injury report with a pullback, I'm like, oh, damn, what did he do? Like, was he lifting 1,000 pounds? And he like, but like adults, I see like, oh, I bent over, I dropped a sandwich, I bent over to pick it up. Oh, or like normal activities. It makes me feel pathetic when I hurt my back or do anything. And I was like picking up a cardboard box that had moderate weight in it. I'm like, oh. So like I feel pathetic when I get those injuries.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So yeah, like that's it's backs are weird, and I don't know. I've had on and off. I've had back problems throughout my life from probably my late 20s. I'm not going to retell the story, but I woke up the day of my brother's wedding, and I was in the wedding party. I wasn't his best man, but I was in the wedding party, and it was a hot night the night before, and we were cranking up the air conditioner, and the blankets got pulled below my shoulder. Usually I'm a snuggler I get everything up and over my neckline. I know some people don't care about that, but I always have. And so it was really cold in the room that night, and the blanket got below my shoulder and it locked up my neck. And I woke up in excruciating pain, like on the floor, on my knees, wailing in pain. My parents come into the room like, what happened? Like, have you been shot? Have you been stabbed? My parents didn't know what happened to me. And I was like, my neck, oh my God. And I was getting shooting pains from from like my shoulder blade up to my neck. I was like, this was my motion in my neck. I was like, that's how much I could move either direction. I was like, what the hell? And it's the morning of my brother's wedding. This is wedding day. My parents are ready for this big wedding. We went to the rehearsral dinner the night.
Were you in the wedding?
Perfectly fine. Yeah, I was in the bridal party. That's what I'm saying.
Oh wow! Oh wow! So you weren't even just a viewer, which maybe you could get away with a little bit more.
Right,
like
you can hide in the corner a little,
Right.
Yeah, right.
But if you're a key piece, oh boy, yeah.
So my dad, I said, "What are we going to do, Dad?" My dad finds this was a Saturday. Okay. So my dad starts calling around. He says, my dad has just never had really any back problems or anything his whole life. God bless him. I don't know what the hell, how I inherited these back problems. But he says, let me see if I can find a doctor for you to see. I was like, what kind of doctor? What are you going to do?
Yeah, right.
Painkillers are going to dope me up? He said, no, we'll go to a chiropractor. I never even heard of what a chiropractor was at the time, And so we go to this chiropractor who was open on a Saturday. And this guy was great. He got my neck to move a little bit, painful as it was, but and he did all kinds. He did like some ultrasound and some electric stim and like did a bunch of things. Little tissue massage kind of thing. I mean, he was doing anything. He knew I had a wedding that day. He was like, man, I got to try and get you mobile. And then they walked out of there with one of those neck braces. So in a lot of the pictures in my brother's wedding, especially all the impromptu pictures, like when we were doing regular, like the pictures that are going to be in the wedding album, I took off the neck brace and then just stood there like, my neck not moving at all, just trying to smile like, I'm in terrible pain. I'll just smile for the cameras. But when I wasn't, I was wearing the big neck brace, walking around in my tuxedo and my neck brace. I mean, I must have looked like some weird penguin or something. It must have been hilarious to other people. It was not funny to me, but it was absolutely hilarious.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah. So, but anyway,
So back pain, but you're powering through. Okay.
Doing much better. Yeah. Today is it's been better every day. It's been a little bit better. So
yeah.
So I'm pumped up to get out there on the golf course today and to just get back to kind of normal activities. So I'll try not to pull any weeds for a couple of more days.
Yeah, there you go.
And if I do, I'll get down on my knees rather than like reach down like I did, and just try to pull weeds from a standing position, which is how I tweaked it. So anyway, all that aside, welcome aboard, everybody. Happy Monday to you. As we mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit today, or I haven't mentioned yet, but yeah, I mentioned in the cold open. We're going to talk about the Knicks and the Spurs. That is kind of topic A today. I know we are usually football centric, but we're in the kind of a lull of football. Not that we don't have football stuff to talk about. As a matter of fact,
we will.
I think before we get in and dig in on the Knicks and the Spurs, I do want to talk about two quick things with the Jets and the Giants. We'll deal with those first. First of all, the Giants today, Boy Green, breaking news. All right. The Giants are working out some wide receivers because I don't know if you heard, but while you were away there in New Hampshire, Gunnar Olszewski, the returner / backup receiver, wide receiver 3-4.
Yes.
Right. He blew out his Achilles. And
that's your third Giants guy with an Achilles there. What the hell?
Through these off-season activities, this is the third Giant to blow out their Achilles. Now, Olszewski,
what is Harbaugh doing out there,
of the
man?
Three guys, Olszewski's maybe the most prominent guy. People would know him.
I suppose.
One of the guys is kind of a who even knows if he's going to make the roster.
Defensive lineman.
So there are some guys that they're fringe guys. So it's like, all right,
I think the Roy guy. I don't have his full name in front of me, but the Roy guy I think was more than just a fringe guy. Like he was a key. Like I'm not trying to make it like he was a starting
rotational guy.
He was like a key rotational guy on the defensive line. Right.
Yes. So they're
still.
They're scouting around for defensive linemen again, interior defensive linemen again. And now they're in the market, dare I say, for a wide receiver. Of course, what does that mean? Odell back in the fold, perhaps. So they are working out three guys today, as far as we've heard from several of the insiders, including Adam Schefter. Odell, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Berrios, a guy that you're very familiar with.
Oh, my goodness, former Jet. Wow.
So those are the three guys, at least, that we're aware of, that they're having over today to do a little workout and see where these guys stand and what kind of shape they're in and so on and so forth. So we'll see. We'll see where that all goes.
Let's do a quick thing on those guys real quick. So this is, if we are to believe all the reporting, this is Odell's second workout with the Giants. Like he worked out for the Giants like a month ago or something. Well, it's before the draft, I guess. So June 1st, maybe. So like a month and a half ago, I guess. Like they worked him out. Now,
I know.
like what do you what do you need from a second workout? Like what more do you need to see? Like I would feel like I would know one way, good or bad. Like I saw him in the workout. Oh, he's still got it. Or wow, he doesn't have it. I don't think I'd walk away from workout going, not sure. A second workout may lean.
I wonder if, again, I was thinking about this too. Like, why do they need to work him out again? They know what Odell is. They talk to him. Harbaugh's in regular contact with him.
Yeah.
We've heard all the comments along the way. Maybe the thought here is you get to compare and contrast a little bit.
Sure.
So remember, definitely. I mean, I go back. We've talked about this many times on the show over the years. I go back to that day that we went to Bills camp when Josh Allen was just drafted by the Bills.
Yeah.
All right. And they have the three quarterbacks at times, they do drills in different ways.
Yeah.
But this day that we were there, Sean McDermott had the three QBs all taking a shotgun snap. All right.
Yeah.
All like right next to each other. And then
pow.
each of them had a receiver in the slot, essentially. And that receiver would go 10 yards and make a cut left. And then they'd fire the ball, lead the guy, boom, and they'd hit him.
Yeah.
So all the receivers look like they're doing the same thing. Quarterbacks literally, ready, set, hut, and poof. They all get the ball together. They all crack.
And you see them, right, 100%.
Boom, to the receiver. And so we're getting to see three different quarterbacks. It was Josh Allen, Nate Peterman, and the
A.J. McCarron.
A.J. McCarron, yeah. A.J. McCarron. So those are the three quarterbacks in camp at the time for the Bills. And they're doing these quarterback drills. And boom, boom, one after the next after the next. And we're just standing on the sideline right alongside this drill. And like the difference in seeing the three of them next to each other in terms of how they deliver the ball, their throwing motion, their footwork, and then boom, just literally how fast it gets to the receiver and is it on target. Like Josh Allen, this rookie, it was like getting there in half the time. It was like a bullet, it was like tight spiral. We were just like, whoa. It looked like, seeing a Nolan Ryan fastball for the first time, or seeing a major leaguer who throws over 95 miles an hour throw a fastball and you're standing near home plate. You're like, whoa, listen to that. Spoop, that pop in the glove. It was kind of that effect. Same effect we had when we saw Saquon Barkley doing running back drills alongside other Giants running backs. And we're like, oh, that's different. Just the way he ran through the rope drill, we were just like, whoa, what was that? So guys stand out when they're physically amazing. So the thought here would be maybe you have, Giants are obviously looking for a veteran wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, wherever this guy's going to slot in, but they need some depth at the receiver spot. They don't want to go into the season without that, especially now that they lost Olszewski. They were already thinking about that with Olszewski. So there's some guys out there that essentially are free agents that it's just a matter of paying them whatever they're going to require you pay them, and you can have them on your roster. So it's smart of the Giants to look at these guys. These guys all are proven to a different level. They're all at kind of different places, but they're all, older guys, who you can look at their body of work. But now you want to see them now, and you see them alongside each other, and I think maybe it tells you a little bit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to make sure we circle back to the original point of us telling the Josh Allen story, is seeing them next to each other. That's a point that I had not given enough credence, right? OBJ by himself, which by all accounts he was.
It can look impressive when a guy's just running out there by himself. But then you see him running alongside a different guy and like, ooh, look at how sharp that cut is. Ooh, he gets downfield a little bit quicker. Ooh, look at that. The way he gets his hands up really quick, like his catch radius. You will just see things when guys are playing alongside each other that will help you go, ooh, that guy stands out a little more than that guy. I always wanted to do that in Little League. I remember when I was a Little League manager, Paul, and, I was in the spring training part of Little League. You get like 12 kids on your roster, and now you're trying to determine what positions they're going to play. You don't know these kids. You've drafted them in some kind of Little League draft we used to do in February, and now you get the kids for the first time, and they're on the practice field. One of the first things I would do is I would line up the whole team at shortstop, roll out ground balls, and have them throw over to first. Now I can see the footwork, the glove work, the arm of every single one of them. And where am I standing, by the way? I'm standing right next to the first baseman. So I get to see how that ball is coming in. I get to hear it. When guys throw really hard, you hear a little sizzle on that ball, and I could tell, all right, those three guys all have cannons. This guy gets it over there accurately, but he's not really got much of a cannon, but it's nice every time. And I kind of like the delivery and the smoothness, and he gets it out of his hands faster. And you just get to see the team alongside itself, and you start going, okay, that's an infielder, that's an outfielder. Oh, that means that guy's a catcher. He's not an infielder. And you get to see it. And I would do this at multiple positions on the field. And I would do, fly balls and then hit second base or hit the cutoff man. And same thing. What's the footwork like? Can the person judge a pop fly a little bit? How do they get under the ball? How do they secure it? And I could look at the players, alongside each other. And again, that would help me determine who's number 1, who's number 12. All right. And how am I going to work this whole thing out? So I think it's a very, very effective way. That's my suspicion here. Why the Giants have 3 guys all coming in at the same time, including Odell again.
Interesting. The group. So you have Odell Beckham Jr., obvious ties to the Giants, his second workout, intriguing storylines and all that. The other 2 guys. So Juju Smith-Schuster is a name we all know very well. He has Nagy ties because he was obviously with them in Kansas City with the Chiefs. So you have system receiver there from his past. That makes a lot of sense. Juju's been around a lot. Like maybe he's matured, all the goofy TikTok dances and all that stupid stuff. But he's a viable receiver. Then Braxton Berrios, I see this year. Shout out to our buddy. Where is he here? I just saw the comment earlier. Oh, there he is. Jet News. Braxton to the Giants is what he's pushing for. Braxton back here to the New York area.
What Berrios has been up to. He's the guy of the 3 that I know the least about in recent days.
Yeah, he's a feisty little guy. He sort of bounced around a little bit. He spent some time in Miami. He's also has return ability, so I don't know what the Giants' return situation is. I know they had our boy Xavier Gibson back there.
Was their primary return.
Well, there you go. Well, So Braxton probably makes the most sense of all of them because of that return of history. So here's the whole sort of story on Braxton. He came in as a 6th-round draft choice in 2018. He was a reserve player, got to win a Super Bowl with the Patriots on the bench, so good for him. He was with the Jets from 2019 through 2022, so he was with them for several years and had some nice production. Jumps over to the Dolphins for 2 seasons, and then this past year, he was a part of C.J. Stroud's receiving core. So he's bounced around a little bit here, but yes, he's a slot receiver, returner, and maybe the more we've sort of fleshed this all out here, maybe Braxton's the best choice of what if you're looking for a Gunnar Olszewski replacement, maybe it's Braxton. Although they were looking at OBJ before, because who's the other one that has the injury? Is that Darius Slayton? There's Malik Neighbors, who has the knee. Who's the other guy? There's another Giants receiver that's
injured right now.
Yeah.
I think Slayton's slated to be back. I don't think he has an injury, right? He might be like nicked up right now, but it's not like a long-term thing.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Not
Yeah,
sure.
I'll have to go back and look through. But no, obviously we know Malik Neighbors had the second surgery. Gunnar Olszewski, unfortunately, with the Achilles, he's out for the year. Yeah, I'll have to look if that is Darius Slay. Yeah, he's questionable, so he must have got hurt. Maybe he's out for just a part of the off season. Here, I'll double check on that in a second. But still, that's what I'm curious about. Are they just looking to replace it? Yes, Darius Slayton had a core muscle surgery, so he should be back by training camp potentially.
Did have surgery, correct?
Yeah, so that's the guy I was thinking of.
They expect him back for camp, so again, not in these OTAs and stuff, but he will
that's
be back
correct.
for camp supposedly. But I mean, look, you have Neighbors who we don't know his timetable right now, and it seems like the more they talk about it, the more worried it is that he's even going to be back for the regular season. Forget about much going on with camp. All right, he's going to be one of those guys on the side, like riding the bike, and the guy stretching him out. We've seen those guys right in camp all the time. You're like, that guy's not that close right now, or it doesn't appear that he is. So we'll see what ends up happening. So yeah, I mean, if they were down both Slayton and Neighbors to start the season, it's really not very good to be facing the Cowboys and the likes of some of those teams that got to face in the first few weeks of the season. Yikes.
So let me ask you.
Cowboys, Rams, first 2 weeks for the Giants. Health might matter in the first couple of weeks of your receiving core, for God's sakes.
Let me, I guess we can pull up the tweet here from Schefter so everyone can see it on the screen while we're talking about it. But do you like any of the three? OBJ, in case you guys are just joining us, ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter revealed that the Giants are working out some receivers. They did have Gunnar Olszewski, who unfortunately blew out his Achilles, so he's going to be out for the season. Darius Slayton had core muscle surgery. He should be back by training camp, so that's another month and change away. Malik Neighbors had the second surgery, and there's a lot of guys that are beat up, unfortunately, this Giants receiving core. Do any of these names do anything for you? Would you sign one of them, multiple of them? Because again, OBJ, here's the tweet from Adam Schefter. You guys worked out OBJ before much of this news had posted, and now you're working out more guys. So you could replace Gunnar Olszewski. You could add more depth to the room. Do any of the three intrigue you? Would you sign any of them? Would you sign multiple of them? What's your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts are this. All right, especially with it being Olszewski.
Sure.
I'm with you in what you just said a little while ago. I think that Berrios is the guy that can fulfill some of those roles. Even if he's not your number one returner, maybe they have somebody else in the squad that they're going to target as the primary returner. You could still use him as a backup return. It's always good to have at least two good return guys for punts. All right, so he makes the most sense to me. He's also a little bit younger than the other two guys. I think I'm correct about that. You told me he was drafted in 18, right? So
let me just cut you off real quick here, Lurch. I messed it up. I'm sorry, Jet News. There's a new report from Schefter. The Giants have signed Braxton Berrios, so the workouts have already. Wow.
Right.
Okay, there you go. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Jet News. I'm sorry that I missed that for a second. So there you go. That is, So apparently, man, they did those workouts early, I guess, because those tweets weren't very far apart from one another.
They were this morning, supposedly, or today. So maybe you're right. Maybe they just they were like, you know what? We lost Olszewski. Let's get so Berrios makes sense. So if the Giants have already signed him, which is what the news coming in is, there it is from Adam Schefter. So I'm going to believe that that's true. Then great.
That's the Olszewski replacement.
Right. That's the Olszewski replacement. They still are looking for receiver depth, even beyond that. So they just lost a guy who was going to play. Now they still need receiver depth. So that still leaves it open for one of the two other guys. I mean, in all honesty, like I'd like to be on that field this morning and see what the two of them look like side by side. Can you give me the ages of both while I'm kind of chatting about this real quick?
Yeah, Braxton is 30.
Right, I'm talking about the other two guys. So Odell
Juju
and Juju.
Yeah,
what's the difference in
I'll
their age?
pull them up.
It's got to be close, those two guys. But
Juju is 29.
Okay, so Juju's young. He's not even 30 yet. So again, listen.
And OBJ is 33.
I'm not going to be an Odell hater, okay? All right. But I'm going to stay with my line since the beginning of this, okay? And my line has been, why? what is it? Why do we need to give this guy closure? Okay. He has missed 2 full seasons in the last 5 seasons. He's missed 2 full seasons where he didn't play any football, including last year. Okay.
Yeah.
He's 33. He embarrassed the organization on the way out, and so much so that they traded him unceremoniously, and since he's left the organization, while he's had a couple of decent seasons here or there, he hasn't done anything near what he ever did with the Giants. And I just don't understand why the team, out of melancholy, out of anything other than this guy is still really talented, would want this guy in their roster. So again, I'm going to trust John Harbaugh, and I'm going to trust the process. I'm not going to get mad if they pick him and they choose him to be part of their wide receiver depth. That's going to tell me that John Harbaugh looked at him, looked at Juju, looked at anybody else they're going to look at between now and when they make this decision, and they said, this guy can provide the most for us. He's the best. He's the most talented at this particular point. But if there's anything going into that decision, and I'm going to believe that there isn't, that has to do with nostalgia, he was once a great Giant, let's let him end it over here. I could care. I don't care about that. We're trying to build a winning football team right now. I don't care if Odell gets his closure. All right. Why does Odell deserve closure from the Giants? He took a wrecking ball to his Giants career. He did all that stuff off the field. He said everything he said. He put out those videos, whatever, taped those videos. I know he didn't put them out. Other people put them out. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's all on him. Guilty, guilty, guilty. So why do we have to provide him with closure? So the only way he gets closure with my current football Giants is if John Harbaugh and his people, scouts and the people that look at this stuff, say he's the best option of all these options because he's still a good football player who can contribute. So my gut tells me sign Berrios. They've already done that. And one of the other 2 guys, unless somebody else surfaces. Okay. And I don't care whether it's Juju or Odell. I just want the best player, period, end of story. Nostalgia out the window.
All right, Lurch, we have some breaking news. Mac was very upset. He's like, what? You guys didn't do breaking news for the Braxton Berrios?
You got it? You go ahead.
We could do it because I have more breaking news. So hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
There you go. There's a breaking news. Some Jets receiver breaking news. Omar Cooper Jr. has agreed to his contract, the first-round wide receiver for the New York Jets.
Hope you're going to sign the guy, for crying out loud.
Yeah, there we go. Look at this. We still have it. I haven't hung it up yet. I keep getting delayed. So there you go. I'll show it as many times as I possibly can. The Omar Cooper Jr. draft guard. He is now signed. Roger Goodell signed this, and now Omar has signed his rookie contract.
Very nice.
To ESPN's Rich
Bravo.
Good.
Far more meaningful than the crumbs that the Giants are kicking around right now. Far more meaningful. You have a receiver who actually is going to be good, I think, in the NFL versus guys that were like, boy, does he have a little bit more left? Squeeze a little more out of that tube of toothpaste. Is there just a little bit left in there that can catch us a few touchdowns and get us a few big plays in the 2026 season? Oh, boy.
That's a little different, which, by the way, I don't know what it is for your Giants, but the Jets are now down to one last draft choice that's unsigned. That's Darrell Jackson Jr., their defensive tackle out of Florida State that took 103 overall. So the Jets draft class is nearly complete. We'll see if Darrell happens this week. Omar was one of, I think, 19 first-round picks that were unsigned. So there's still a large chunk of them that have not signed. It's all this, and it's things fans don't care about. Offset language and all that kind of crap is what they all argue behind the scenes. It's all stuff for them. But, yeah, Omar is signed. Braxton Berrios is signed for your Giants, and we'll see what other moves are here. So, wow, Lurch, we picked a perfect time to start the show, apparently.
That's what you say. No football news, and then, of course, what happens, football news happens. That's the way. Football is a 365-day a year, 24/7 entity these days. But there still are some little lulls. We're going to get one in a couple of weeks here. OTAs are over, and then we're going to have this lull for like a week in the middle of June, where it'll kind of die down, and then it will just start kicking back up. Once we start approaching training camps and everything, then it all just starts kicking up. Then fantasy football starts cranking up too. I mean, gosh, I've barely done any work on fantasy. All these players that move teams. I got to go back to the drawing board. I got a title to defend here, man. I got to defend. I got to be reasonable in my title defense. Oh,
That's
boy.
the thing I messed up, Lurch.
Yeah.
Normally, when I visit my old man, and sometimes I do it around this time of year, I hit up the local grocery store for the fantasy football magazines. They're likely on the shelf already around this time, is when they first start dropping. So I never hit up the grocery store. So, boy, I got to work that into my routine some way this week to start getting my work in.
You're
Yes.
ready already, huh? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I try to keep myself out of that gutter for a little bit longer anyway. But yeah, gotta start doing work. It's becoming more and more work every year because more and more moves are happening
Movement.
now. There's just way more movement, and you got to be on top of and have a sense of what's going on. Gosh, it still might be a lot of movement in Arizona now that they drafted Love. What's going to happen to James Conner? Is he going to get shipped off somewhere? They have the other guy too. Don't they have Trey Benson out there still? Right. So,
And
like,
no, they Jeremiah Love, Trey Benson, James Conner. Yeah, he could be. James Conner could totally be on the move. We're June 1. That's another thing we could have done today's show on, Lurch. All the money that's about to become available, the AJ Brown stuff and more. So, yes, for sure.
Yeah, Matt and I did speak of AJ Brown last week. He said June 1 or right around here, and I was watching some of the TV stuff this morning on ESPN, and they're saying like should be a matter of days.
Imminently. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Something's going to shake with AJ Brown. We just keep hearing the Patriots over and over again. I don't know why other people aren't in this mix, but I don't know what the heck is. Vrabel have a spell on these guys or something? I don't get it. I'm not quite sure.
Right.
Or are they using the Patriots as some kind of leverage, maybe, to get something else from someone else? I hope that that's the case. I don't want them to go to the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't either. And I can't remember if this was Seinfeld or Curb Your Enthusiasm. The Spite. Was there an episode on Spite? Do you know, was that one or the other? I can't remember. Okay, so not Seinfeld.
No,
Must have been
every Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, and I thought I had a really good Rolodex of Seinfeld myself, so no. But if anyone's out there, you don't want the Patriots to get him because they were just in the Super Bowl, so don't want them to get better with a 1,400-yard receiver. But at a Spite, even if you don't even need the receiver, make sure they don't get him. Somebody do something. The Rams apparently flirted around with it. Just get involved to get involved. At least drive the price up or something. For Pete's sake, EJ's a basket case, but he's really talented.
It's like being in an auction and just holding up your car just in
right. You get a feeling, a little reflex.
Seinfeld reference. Remember Elaine, right? And the O'Hara Candy Bar heiress.
Yes,
bidding for the golf clubs. JFK's golf clubs.
Yeah,
and she was only supposed to go up to like $3,000.
Yeah, to win them.
Into a cat fight essentially on bidding. She's $4,000, $5,000.
Getting annoyed. Yeah,
going crazy. So that was So there you go. At least drive the price if you're not truly interested in AJ Brown. Could you at least drive the price up, for crying out loud, on the Patriots? You're not going to let them get him for a bag of beans, so to speak. So hopefully Philly, look, Roseman is a tough negotiator, so one would think, he
wouldn't give him away, right?
He's not going to give him away, but they are up against it because this guy clearly doesn't want to play for them.
And it's their leverage, Lurch. Look at all they traded for Dontavian Wicks. They drafted Mekhi Lemon in the first round. They signed Hollywood Brown. They already have Devontae Smith. All their moves say, AJ, you're out of here. And the Patriots and every team in the league's like, you're not keeping AJ Brown, which again makes it an interesting dance. So for sure. But oh wow, look at all this news.
And I wish the Giants had the money because boy, that would really probably solve their.
But they wouldn't trade him inside the division though.
No, but that would be a big solve for the Giants. And even if Neighbors misses a few, you have a number one, and then when Neighbors comes back, you got like 1 and 1A, and and even if you only kept Brown for a couple of years, he'd be a great piece to work with some of the younger talent they have, but his price is going to be way too high. The Giants are not going to give up collateral, so they're not going to be in the mix, unfortunately, but he would be a really good fit with the Giants. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't see that happening any way, shape, or form, but I hate these rumors about the Patriots getting him. Ugh, yuck. Ugh, gross. Yeah. Gross is all I could say on that. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital at MC Show Digital. Again, we are presented by our friends at Northeast Roofing Professionals. Today's video brought to you by our friends at Box Drop Syracuse. We'll get to those guys in just a little bit. If you're just coming in the room right now, don't forget to like the video. You see the link right there, youtube.com/@MC Show Digital. And even more importantly, please subscribe. We need you to be a subscriber. We need to increase our subscribers by less than 75. Now, would you say it was 73, Boy Green? That was
yes. 72. We're at 72. It just updated.
thank you to that person. I want to give you something. I mean, call me and I'll give you something.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try and get us, get us hot and heavy on trying to up our subscribers to get to 1,000. That's kind of a nice big landmark and a nice round number, and we've been working our butts off pretty hard to get there. So please do that. A couple of other things I want to get to before we get to our main topic, which is going to be the Knicks and the Spurs and previewing the NBA Finals a little bit, Boy Green. Little news on the Jets front. So give us a little taste of what's been going on with the New York Football Jets. These are not huge things, but I was laughing, dare I say, when I watched your show last week when you were up there in the mountains, and I was like, Get out of here. What? He's making a show out of this? You got to be kidding me. So let's have a little fun talking about one of the players that the Jets signed this week to be part of potentially making the 53. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is Younghoe Koo, who most people know him from his Falcons days. He's a Pro Bowl kicker. And actually, I didn't know this. My pop looked up this stat. Shout out to him. He's the 23rd most accurate kicker in NFL history. So, he's been spectacular during his career. However, over the last year and a half, which was the end of the Falcons run and his run with Lurch's New York Giants, things didn't go as well as it had the first couple of years of his career.
I mean, he's kind of the guy now, and that was so clickbaity. I was like, oh, that is so clickbait. And I was like, but it's true. Former Pro Bowl
accurate,
kicker, now part of the Jets, right? I mean, totally true. Unfortunately, it's Younghoe Koo, who, to me, and when the Giants signed him to the practice squad, you remember last year when they signed him to the practice, I was really excited because our kicking situation was a mess. And even though he had kind of a rough go at the end of his Atlanta thing, kickers sometimes do bounce back. And he's been one of the most accurate kickers over the breadth of his career in the NFL. He was really, really good for Atlanta for several years. So, he just kind of like kickers, sometimes they get quirky, they get weird, they have a down year, but then sometimes they get traded or something and boom, they bounce right back, whether it's the new environment, whether it's the new stadium, who knows, but that has happened many, many times in the history of football. And we had such an unsettled, we were rolling out weird rookie guys. We had a guy that only played soccer that was playing there was this weirdness going on with the Giants kicking situation once Graham Gano started, tweaking his hammy every other week. So basically we're in a weird place. And I was like, this guy will provide stability, man. Let's bring this guy up. And then the other guy started missing kicks, and I think he got hurt. And I was like, all right, who's going to come up? And he comes onto the roster. I'm like, all right, he's going to do it, man. He's going to be the next Ali Haji Sheik, man. Come off the used car lot and become a thing for another year or two. I was like, he's going to do it, man. The Giants, he's going to do it with the Giants. And then he did what will be remembered forever. I mean, it's literally poor Bill Buckner will forever be remembered, as good a player as he was in baseball, for letting that ball go through his legs and letting the Mets win Game 6, which inevitably won them the World Series in 1986. Poor Bill Buckner. The call has been played thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, millions of times. I used to have it as a ringer on my phone. All right, it was so glorious to Met fans. But poor Bill Buckner, who I met later after the incident and was such a nice guy. I was like, oh, man, I can't not like this guy. He's so nice. All right. But that's what he's known for. And I think in the case of Younghoe Koo, while, again, one of the most accurate kickers, had some great runs, made some big kicks, so on and so forth, kicking the ground on a field goal attempt for the New York Football Giants that was on everybody's feed everywhere, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or wherever videos, YouTube, wherever videos are shown, was Younghoe Koo kicking the ground, which he later explained, I meant to miss the ball because, I don't know if it was the hold. I can't remember the specific circumstance, whether it was the hold was off or whether his timing was off and his footwork wasn't right. So in order to not make a mess of the whole thing, he kicks the ground. But it'll forever look like this weirdest, stupidest thing. It's like, what did he just do? He missed it. We all thought he whiffed. It looked like he whiffed, but he never kicked it. He just kicked into the ground and then scuttled off to the left, which was bizarre.
Which, again, while that excuse sounds crazy, it sort of makes sense because if you're a kicker and you're about to kick this into the back of your offensive lineman's head, that's not good. So if you're normally the person holding could be a punter or a quarterback or something, like you not kicking it and him trying to do something with it is better than you kicking it to your offensive lineman's head. That does make sense. Now, Lurch, did you hear the crazy story of that missed kick?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Other than him saying I purposely kicked the ground, I don't remember anything else.
You might remember this when I start telling it, but if you don't, Google it.
Okay.
So there's a Giants fan at home watching this game, and Younghoe Koo kicks it into the ground, it sends this Giants fan into a laughing frenzy because like he's losing it and he has a heart attack or something, like he goes into cardiac arrest or something, and he has to get rushed to the hospital. And when they get him there, they discover he had like some disease or something, and they were able to save his life because of this incident. So because Younghoe Koo kicked the ground, which sent this Giant fan laughing so hysterically that he went into some form of cardiac arrest or something. I'm probably fudging up a detail here or there, but like they rushed him to the hospital and then they found out he had something and they saved his life. So Younghoe Koo saved a Giants fan's life out there somewhere. I'm going to try to look it up to make sure I can, fixate details. It sounds like you didn't hear that story, Lurch.
I don't remember hearing that. That's unbelievable. So the guy was laughing so hard. He has a minor heart attack or thinks he does, goes to the hospital, and then in their examination, they determine something else, and it saves his life. Oh, my.
Yeah, so the guy's name is Kenny Rice. He's a stallion sales manager for a farm, and after reacting to the Giants' Younghoe Koo's failed kick, he actually had a seizure, which caused people to like, oh my God,
that makes
go
sense.
rush to the hospital. When they get to the hospital, they discovered he had a brain tumor. And then they went, oh, geez. And they addressed it, and now he's still alive. So, yeah, so it saved his life. They would have never known about this brain tumor if that never happened. So, hey, you know what, Younghoe Koo? I salute you, sir, because maybe he tried to save a man's life on purpose, too.
Who are your other kickers right now? I'm not even sure what's going on. I mean, I know obviously Falk left, so, which is a shame because he really rebirthed it, and he's kind of a legendary Jet in some ways. So
he is, he's one of the most pronounced kickers.
So who's in the kicker room right now for the Jets?
Which, by the way, here's just a depressing thing. Ritz, he was just on the Jets Collective podcast with our buddy Jake Asman and Brandon Tierney. He said that the negotiations between Nick Folk and the Jets this offseason, they're off by $1 million.
Come on.
That was it. The Jets were here. He was here, and then they went, well, all right, to go hit free agency. And the Falcons
standards, $1 million is like a penny. It's
right. To us, obviously, that's life-changing money. Of course. Yeah. It's Survivor. That's what well, in most years, this year was $2 million, but like $1 million, that's a lot of money. But to the NFL, it's peanuts. And the fact that the Jets were like really hemming and hawing over nothing. He goes to the Falcons, who have no problem paying him that $1 million difference. He's a Falcon. So Jet fans, it's only going to make you angrier. Anywho, the other two kickers are these two individuals. So you have Younghoe Koo, who we just talked about. A German kicker named Lenny Krieg. Okay. He was part of the NFL's International Pathway Program. And basically, we don't know, no one knows anything about him. He played in German leagues. The statistics are a little wonky. Last year, he was on the Falcons practice squad, but he never kicked. They never had to call upon him. So he's just a total mystery. We have no idea. The third kicker they have currently has a groin injury, so he's out for some period of time. His name is Cade York. And Cade York's numbers are terrible. He was drafted highly. He was like a 4th-round pick of the Browns or whatever team he started his career with. Right. So he's a 4th-round pick. I mean, that kickers don't get drafted in the 4th round often. And he has a huge leg, but accuracy, it's difficult to hit the broadside of a barn, which the last time I checked is an important quality for a kicker. So they have a guy with a big leg who misses. They have a German kicker I know nothing about, and no one seems to.
It's a great mystery.
And then you have Younghoe Koo, who has roundhouse kicked the ground. So that's
not good. That's not a good situation for the Jets. Kicking matters, man. And Folk was like the one of the few bright spots for the Jets last year. He made kicks when they needed him. He
only missed one kick all year. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's not good, man.
Yeah. So
I hate when the kicker situation with my team is unsettled. I do not like that. So. Yeah. You could have everything else going on. A kicker can ruin the whole thing, man. Because the whole thing is, well, just got to drive down and get a field goal here, man. We can win the game. Oh, maybe not with one of these three guys. Who the heck knows? Oh boy.
Well, that's just what I've said. Like in seasons where your team sucks, like the kicker is irrelevant. You win 3 games instead of 4. Who cares? Right. But if you believe that you're like a team that's going to be in close games, you have a terrible kicker. That's awful. You go back to 2024 for the Jets. They ended up with, I think it was 5 wins that season. They lost like 3 or 4 games by field goals. You're like, oh dear God, like that's a disaster. And who knows what could have happened if you flip it the other way. So it's a kicking disaster right now. But hopefully the Jets figure it out.
Fair enough. So
anywho, the whole Younghoe Koo, so your Giant fan perspective, you're just like, yeah, Jets, good luck, basically. Like you don't think he has anything left. You think he's shot.
It sure looked that way to me. I mean,
Okay,
I really liked the guy.
Sure.
When they, like I said, when they signed him on the practice squad and everything, but he just didn't. It's like I said, I was hoping for the rebirth. I was hoping this guy's gonna,
Sure.
he's gonna, have a rebirth. We've seen this again, like I said, time and time again with kickers, and yeah, he just didn't. And he didn't look good, and yeah, I don't know. It was just weird and scary, and then he did the ground thing, and that was kind of the end of it. Then I was like, oh my gosh, what
Yeah.
is going on here? So that was just too weird. Hey, let me bring up this comment while we're still on football, because we are going to shift and go to basketball once we get back here in a moment. So Jamie asking this question, and he asked me this over the weekend in a text, and I was like, I don't really understand completely. It doesn't happen very often, but the Giants have the 49ers again this year on their seat on their schedule, and they had the 49ers last year. And oddly, okay, that's not like so way out of left field, but oddly, they were both at MetLife. So do you have any explanation? I said, Boy Green might know. I don't know stuff
Yes.
about the schedule when it gets to this kind of minutia. You do.
Right.
What's the explanation?
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain it in a way that you'll understand, but
Okay.
so
Well,
I just had my so
do your
here
best.
so the Jets have a version of this, but their version is even crazier. This year, the Jets play the Broncos for the 7th straight year. The Broncos are in the AFC West. The Jets are in the AFCs. Why the hell are the Jets playing the same team 7 years in a row? That's bizarre. I asked my scheduling guy, Blake Jones. He's the director of broadcasting for the National Football League, and he explained it's a quirk, especially in the 17 game era where we are. There is a 17th game that's on a rotating basis. There's a rotate, which Lurch hates all these explanations because, like, the Giants' schedule is impossible every year with the rotation of divisions. Where you finish in your division, where the other team finishes in their division, and there's a rotating element to the schedule. So, long story short, it's random luck that the 49ers happen to be playing the Giants in the same location in back-to-back years. There's all these. I think of them like shifting clock gears. If you've ever opened up a grandfather clock before, and there's a cog over here, there's a cog over here, a cog over here, a cog over here. The cogs all have to spin just the right way for this thing to happen. Or for, in the Jets' very quirky case, 7 years in a row playing the same opponent, and they've played them several times in New York. The Bo Nix one was in New York. This one was in New York. They had one that was in London, which threw it off, or it would have been another Jets home game. So again, long story short, it's rotating schedule, same place, same finish in certain divisions. And every 4 years you play your opponent anyway. So you can reset to that. And I believe the Giants play the NFC West anyway as part of the 4-man rotation. Don't you guys have, yeah, obviously you guys got the Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. So you have the 4 rotation in general. And last year was the place and position. So like I said, it's complicated. I suggest listening to the Blake Jones interview and skipping to that part of the interview as he explains it. Very complicated. Long story short. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I knew there was some cockamamie explanation, and there you go. You're laying it out for us. So there it is. All right. That's the explanation. It is unusual. You don't usually see that, especially, yeah, you just don't usually see that. You don't usually see that. But, not only back to back years playing a team out of conference, but back to back years in your own building. Usually these things alternate, road, home, road, home.
Definitely.
So that nobody has an advantage, but unusual situation. So, okay. Very, very good. Okay. Good to have at least a more rudimentary understanding of that.
Sure.
All right. A couple other things here before we go out to break. Number one, I don't know if you noticed, Boy Green, but I'm in full Knicks regalia today. Got this
as you should
beautiful
be.
new Knicks hat. Look at this.
I
Go
love
this way. Yeah, look at this. Got the Knicks patch on
Oh
this side.
yeah, there you go. Nice.
Patch on this side too. I don't know. Oh, it's just
Might
be new era.
No, I don't see it. Yeah, it's new era. Yeah.
I think it's just a new era on that side, and then
Yes,
this side
correct.
has the Knicks logo, and then it has the
Yes.
cool NYK. Very cool.
Yeah,
stuff.
very nice. Yeah.
Very nice. So just got that. Okay, investing for the finals, and
New
I don't know if you
gear.
guys see it. It's a little bit out of screen here.
Right.
I'll tilt my camera down, but
Sure.
yes, sir, baby.
Jalen Brunson.
Burner, baby. Here we go, baby. Full Brunson.
Good
jersey.
investment.
On the back.
Nice.
All right, I can't turn around.
Oh wait, what's on the side? What's on the side of the jersey?
Oh yeah, this is their cool.
Oh, nice.
This is their alternate jersey.
Yeah, that's like their version of City Connect.
The Knicks will probably wear that sometime in the finals. They do wear that jersey
Cool.
at least one game. They have, I think, in each of the other series. I'm pretty sure I've seen it pop up for a few of the games. So I don't know. I'm just trying to determine, do I like this black? I just decided, let me just go a little different this time around, do something a little different.
Like
So
that.
I went for the City Connect jersey, the different jersey.
Nice.
I don't know if I like the black on black. You can see I'm wearing a black T-shirt underneath it today,
Yes.
so it's like hard. It's kind of blending. So I don't know. Like I got to do a Patrick Ewing. You know, Patrick Ewing in college always used to wear like the gray T-shirt under his
Yeah.
Georgetown thing. He like
Well,
made the
that's what I was going to
T-shirt
mention.
jersey
It's like
thing.
just a passing glance, it looks like you're wearing a black T-shirt.
Yes,
So,
right.
like, because it's all like, unless I was with you, I wouldn't see the layered nature of it.
Right, but
Some people
it's
prefer.
the jersey. It's
No,
just
no, I could tell that it is. Yeah, right. It is not just that and that. It's two layers. But like for Celtics, you could see green jersey, white shirt underneath. You see that there's something. I prefer in the summer. Yeah, I guess it depends how sweaty you are. Just to go straight up basketball jersey, no shirt underneath, or you're just getting
yeah.
more skin. So it depends. But I appreciate you. What's the word? Investing in your team. You should, Lurch.
It's time. It's time. Yeah.
Congratulations.
The
You're in
funny
the
thing
NBA
is, like,
Finals.
you'd think like I'd have a ton of Knicks gear, right? Because I used
Yeah,
to be a season ticket
course.
holder for the Knicks. I did 7 years of season tickets.
That's a long
Certainly
time.
during those years, I bought merch, you know, hats,
Yeah.
jerseys, sweatshirts, you name it. Boy Green, I have one item
One.
left from all of those years
good
of
lord.
fandom. I think the hats, you sweat them up and everything. Eventually,
Yeah.
they lose their form. It's just time. So that's probably, I probably had like 3 or 4 different Nick hats over those years, all gone. All right. A lot of the T-shirts, and I had some cool T-shirts. I remember I had a Knicks Bomb Squad T-shirt. It had Johnny
Nice.
Lee and John Starks, Trent Tucker, just these great, all these guys that were shooting threes. When Rick Pitino had the team, they were called the Bomb Squad. That was kind of a nickname for Knicks
That's a good one.
guards. And so I had a T-shirt with all of those guys with caricatures, and it said Bomb Squad. It was really cool. It had the year and everything. It was a fancy. That thing gone. I don't know what happened to it. It just made its way probably to the donation bin. And I can't remember. I know, like, I've always been one of those people, and I almost did it this time, and I just stopped myself. All right. So here I am. I'm like, it's the NBA Finals. Like, I got to have some merch. I told you I'm going to go down to New York, so we'll talk about that. And I think sometime this week, Boy Green, I'm gonna trek down. So I'm down there for I have to get down there for a piece of the fun.
Although they banned the outside thing because of you crazy Nick bastards. So
I know. But to be honest with you, like, I don't want to be the outside thing. Like, it's too crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't sit. You're jammed in like sheep. It can get a little rowdy. Like, no, thank you.
Hey, look, how many kidneys do you have left?
How many kidneys?
Yeah.
2.
You still have 2?
Yes,
oh, great. So, hey, finals tickets maybe, huh? You and Zay can shoot, pop off a kidney, get tickets in there, huh?
It's funny. I talked to someone last week connected to the show, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to put names out there.
Ooh, yeah, of course.
And I guess we're talking off, off the show.
Yeah.
And that person had told me that, they got tickets for the finals. And I was like, man, I was thinking about it, but holy crow, I got online and I started looking at prices of tickets, and I was like, geez, I just can't justify. It's not even having the money or not having the money, which is an issue with me, but I mean, it might not be with some people.
Yeah, I guess.
It's valuing your money, saying I'm going to pay this much to sit in a building for 2 hours and 15 minutes, of which, by the way, I have no guarantee that they're going to win. I have no guarantee that it's going to be a good game. I have no guarantee of anything. It's just a complete and utter roll the dice. Yeah. Oh, 6, not 7. Too bad. All right. Like, I know I've been to far too many NBA games, 7-year ticket holder plus playoffs all those years. I've been to far too many NBA games in person. It's just a roll of the dice. You just don't know what you're going to get on any given night. And I know it's the finals, but so what? It's, tickets, you could check, Boy Green, but this person confided in me that they got a ticket for game 3, which is the first game at the Garden, because the Spurs have the home court. So it's going to be starts Wednesday night, by the way, folks. Wednesday night and then Friday. And then when it's a travel day, when they're moving to the other arena, then it'll be 3 days before the next game. So it's going to be 2 days if it's in the same place, and then 3 days. I've looked at it through the whole schedule. So it's Wednesday, Friday. Then they would travel to New York. So it'll be Saturday, Sunday, Monday would be the first game in New York. And then Tuesday, Wednesday would be the second game in New York, so on and so forth. All right. Well, this person, you could tell me what the price is in a moment. This was last week again. This person got a ticket, bona fide ticket to game 3, $3,700 for a singular ticket. Now, I don't know where this person's sitting or anything. I didn't ask any of the details, but I just was like, oh my Lord. Okay. And again, the rationale behind it was, I want to be there for the first home game. The series certainly won't be determined by then, so on and so forth. Less of a roll of dice. The place will be nuts, whether the Knicks are up 2-0, whether the Knicks are down 0-2, whether the Knicks are tied 1-1.
No matter what, right?
That place, that first game, we're talking 27 years since it's happened. We're talking 53 years, since they've won a title. Okay, the place is going to be standing on its head no matter what. The pregame introductions are going to be like standing kind of stuff, and they'll obviously have the lasers and everything going for, they're going to make this thing crazy as they possibly can. They're going to turn that hype train up to 50.
Of course.
And so, I was just like, wow. I mean, so what's the lowest? You're telling me that crap. You're telling me I'm sitting in the back row, essentially. What's the best price on a Knick ticket for a game in the finals right now?
Okay. So first off,
I want to just pick game 3 because,
I will, but let me do this first. Okay. So obviously the series starts in San Antonio. What do you believe for game 1 is the cheapest ticket to go see it in San Antonio for the NBA
I would think,
finals?
I'm gonna offer this, even though I may be wrong. I don't know, but because it is the NBA finals, and still you have nutty Knick fans that would travel all the way to San Antonio to go see them.
Yeah.
But the prices should be, generally speaking, cheaper in San Antonio than they are at the Garden. I believe that to be true. I think
I'm looking for the cheapest ticket. The lowest price ticket is what for game 1 of the NBA finals in
game
San
1
Antonio?
in San Antonio. I'm gonna say $700.
$909.
I'm not that far off. That was actually a reasonable guess, all things on the table. A little under $1,000 for a singular ticket, and you're sitting probably in one of the worst seats in the house. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Bring it to New York now. Yeah, game 3. I know. This is the insanity of New York. This is why it's insane.
And think about what I just said, folks. The cheapest ticket in the house for Spurs Knicks game 1 of the finals is $900. Let's basically.
All right. Hopefully, I haven't over exaggerated. I have not looked at this, folks. I'm not looking at anything.
What is the cheapest ticket in the house for the first game, which is game 3, but the first game possible in New York for the NBA finals is how much?
I'm just going to go with what my gut tells me. I have no clue. I hope I'm not like going too crazy overboard, but I might be. We'll see. I'm going to guess $2,200. 22 is my favorite number, so I'm thinking around $2,000. So $2,200.
$3,900.
Oh my God!
Is the cheapest ticket in the house for game 3 of the NBA.
Now you know why I'm not going to be at the Garden.
$3,000 difference between one location versus Lurch. You may be better served jumping in a private jet and flying to San Antonio, go to game 1, hotel.
$900 seems completely reasonable, all things considered. It does. It's completely reasonable compared to the insanity that is New York. It's insane. I'm going to try. I'm already in the quote, the queue, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a queue, but whatever.
Oh?
I signed up a couple of days ago for this. It's like this Knicks Insider Club kind of thing, and they tell you where the watch parties are going to be.
Oh, cool.
and they let you know when tickets are going on sale for the watch parties. Now the watch parties aren't expensive. They're usually like $10, $15, $20.
Okay.
All right, so it's just a token fee to get in.
It's cool to do watch with all your friends.
And they did do a watch party for this last series for the road games, particularly.
Yeah.
They did a watch party for the Knicks at Radio City Music Hall, which that would be a nice place to have a watch party, because they're going to put a nice big screen there. It's a comfortable place. You get a comfortable seat. It'll be nuts, but it'll be fun. And it won't be people stepping on each other, or standing outside on the streets, and you're standing the whole time. So, so you'd be able to sit if you want to sit, at least at parts. Probably a lot of people will be standing anyway, but if you want to sit down for a little while, you can. Plus, they probably have food and beverages and stuff available to you, so you're going to pay for it. But it's kind of like being at the arena. So I would do that. I would go to Radio City for a watch party. I think it's more likely we'll see. My son just got back from Taiwan yesterday, so I'm going to talk to him, and it'll be something I'll do with him. But if I can't get into one of the cool watch parties in the city, then we'll probably either go to, one of the pubs in Manhattan or even in Queens, where it's crazy Knick fans, and you got the outdoor, like one of the beer gardens or something, where you're outdoors, massive screens, and everybody's just going crazy. So we'll do something, but I'm going to get down there for the finals. I think I'm going to leave sometime this week, BG. So I haven't set anything in stone yet, but
great. Let me know.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. So
you should enjoy it. You're in the finals for the first time in 30 years. Like, come on, man.
I think I'm kind of targeting Friday, which would be game 2 in San Antonio. So then, so then there'd the watch party potentially available.
Yeah.
So maybe
That's
might
unbelievable.
not be as insane in the city. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Probably going to be insane wherever you are. I mean, the Knicks haven't
That's
been in the
probably true.
finals in 27 years. But anyway, so I'm going to get down there, and if I do, I'll definitely make some videos and put some stuff up for us
Please
folks here
do.
on the channel as well. So you'll get to share that experience, at least a little bit of it with me that way. When I go down, but I'm going down. So I got my Brunson jersey. I got my brand new Knicks hat. I'm geared up now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. Ready to see if this team can get it done and end this 53-year drought that is the New York Knicks. My goodness.
So, Lurch, before we get to break, I need to hear your initial thoughts because I've heard it from Jake Asman over the last couple of days because I do some stuff with Jake. So I heard it before. I saw Game 7, by the way, the Western Conference Finals. Oh, terrific! Finally, we got a good.
Finally got a good game.
A lot of these games have been blowouts. Outside of game blowouts, so it was cool to get a competitive. Like, oh my goodness, the game's hanging.
It didn't come down to the final shot, but it was a very good game.
No, it didn't. Right, it came down to the last handful of possessions.
Right.
But the Spurs sort of got a commanding lead a few times. They hit Victor Wembanyama 3 or something, and then they just sort of held firm in the last 60 seconds. You sort of knew where it was going. But again, I've been listening to Jake a lot. Jake, a huge, crazy Knicks guy. And he said before games, he actually said this in the middle of the Western Conference Finals, that he would prefer the Spurs if he had a choice. Victor Wembanyama's a freak, obviously, but he'd take their inexperience with the Knicks' relative inexperience, right? That they both have been to the finals for a while, even though the Knicks have been together as a playoff group. Like, he wanted that and the revenge for 99, which we hinted in the headline of the video, and everything else. And hey, Jake is getting what he wants. I'll have to go back and listen to whatever he said this morning on the Jake Asman show to hear how he feels about it. But I want to ask you, Lurch. You got the Spurs. By the way, screw the Thunder. They're gonna win 1 million championships in a row. Screw the Thunder. I'm so happy the Spurs won, and that's what I predicted before the NBA Finals. So booyah! But Lurch, let me ask you: now that you got the Spurs, is that who you prefer? Do you think that's an easier opponent? What do you make of all of that?
And you remember, I was kind of going back and forth on this.
You were.
That's
weeks. What I'm saying.
I mean,
yes.
I started oh God, do we want the Spurs? The beginning of the playoffs, give me the Spurs all day. After the first round, give me the Spurs all day. We want the Spurs. We want the Spurs. We want anybody but the Thunder. Give me anybody but the Thunder. We don't want the Thunder. We don't want SGA. We don't want that suffocating defense, yada, yada, yada. Then as the playoffs played out, number one, I just felt like, especially once we got to Spurs Thunder, once we got to that series, the Spurs were starting to unmask the Thunder. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Thunder a little weak over there. And hey, hold on a second. SGA is human. Wow. And wow, when he's not getting the calls, boy, he's a different guy. If the refs just let him get a little physical, and the Knicks are a very physical team, SGA is like not even close to the MVP that we all thought he was when he got the award. So there, he my thought is this guy's like Jordan and he could just take over a game. And we saw in that Spurs series, he wasn't able to do that. He was not able to do that time and time and time again. He had a good game 7. All right. Yeah. But even in a good game 7, he was not a difference maker. Like, his impact on the game was he was just keeping his team in it. Like, where are the rest of the team? What was going, the contributions weren't good enough around him, and he wasn't able to do what Jordan did. And I know I'm comparing him to arguably the greatest player in the history of the game, and just take over when your team needs to do it. He was not able to do that. So he got exposed a little bit. He'll come back next year pretty motivated, though. So we'll see. They still have a pretty good roster, and they got all those draft picks. I mean, these guys have saved up forever, so they can do all kinds of things. They have maybe the most maneuverability out there in the NBA with all the assets that they have and how they could move these chess pieces around and be extremely good, if not the favorite again next year. But that aside, they got exposed a little bit. I also asked our friend Sean Devaney. I've asked him the last 2 weeks in our interview, but I re-asked it again. Let's get into this a little more deeper. Let's ask it again. Who should the Knicks want? And this was before Game 7. Okay, this is now Game 7's on. Devaney talked to me on Friday. Who should the Knicks want? And he emphatically said they want the Spurs. They don't want the Thunder. They don't want any part of the Thunder. The Spurs, their youth, their inexperience. Wembanyama, as good as he is, he's not full flower yet. We see him as an improving player. He's just not there yet. He's not at his peak yet. Get him now while you can, because it may be a tough road for everyone else once he does get to his peak, if they're able to put a good roster and keep a good roster around him. So he's like, so you have to go that way. And I think I've been convinced. I moved over. Remember, a couple of weeks ago with Devaney, I said, I want the Thunder. The best, got to beat the best. I'd love to dethrone the champion, so on and so forth. And I don't want to deal with this freakish guy in the middle that you have to change everything you do. You play the Thunder, and the Knicks just going to play the Thunder pretty much the way they play any other team, and they'll pay more attention, obviously, to the MVP. But otherwise they're going to play that way, and they're going to try to be physical. so on and so forth. Now you play the Spurs, and you've got to account for this freakish guy in the middle who can do all these weird things, who can block anything that's coming at you. And part of my concern in playing the Spurs is that Brunson and what he does.
Yes.
He's the king of positioning and backing his way in and maneuvering his way in the lane, and then just dropping back and hitting one of those fallaways from places all around the paint and the surrounding 15-foot in area. He's certainly not just a 3-point shooter. He'll hit some threes too, but that's his money game. That's really where he thrives. With Victor Wembanyama just hanging in the middle of the paint, Brunson's going to have to put that shot way up in the air. He's going to have to literally adjust how he does things, because this guy, just without jumping at all and just raising his incredibly long arm on that incredibly long body, is a shot alterer. Okay. So he's not only a shot blocker, he's a shot alterer. And that could really screw Jalen Brunson up. And we know the Knicks need Brunson to win this thing. I mean, there's no question. He's their best player. He has to play well, pretty much game in and game out. All right. And when big shots are needed in the fourth quarter, he's going to be the one most of the time with the ball in his hands. And so I worry about how Wemby affects Brunson's bread and butter, which is that in the lane game, that driving part of his game. So I'm concerned about that. But I think in the end, through listening to Jake, through listening to Devaney, through kind of thinking this out, the fact of the matter is that, the Spurs are ahead of schedule. But the real question is, are they ready? And I think the Knicks, I think, are closer to being ready, all right, than the Spurs are. And so I kind of do like the matchup. Plus, I also think, the Spurs, some of those younger guys, I know Castle has played very well. I know Harper has played very well. Now I've become more familiar with the rest of it. I mean, these are still young players. And, this is the finals. It's a different creature. And the Knicks have some experience. They have guys that have been there, what's his name? Anunoby's been there. They have guys on this roster that have been there. So I just think you put it all in the blender, and it just feels like the Knicks are more ready than the Spurs. But it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a wild series. We'll see how it goes.
And maybe I'm going to have to double check this. Anunoby was on the Raptors team that won the championship with Kawhi, right?
Yes, he was.
Okay. So there you go. So yeah, he definitely been there. Let me ask you this. It doesn't matter now, Thunder are not in it. Do you think the Knicks, we don't know what's going to happen with Knicks and Spurs, obviously, but do you think the Knicks would have had a shot against either team they would have faced in the NBA Finals in terms of potentially winning it?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. There you go. So what's your prediction for this series? Is it going 7, 6, 5, sweep? What?
I'm going to say Knicks in 6.
Which, I've said this entire time, Lurch, that, I'd love for your Knicks to win. I said, hey, I'm rooting for them, but this is the closest we've ever been to the Rob Champagne danger zone.
As a matter of fact, you know what? Hey, hold on a second. I'm going to go get that. I got to go get this. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, here we go. That's it. Oh boy, here we go. Unbelievable. We're there. Let me see. Did I hear? I'm getting some text. Is there any kind of news coming in here on something? If you guys see any breaking news, please let me know. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see. Is there? Wow, there you go. Some breaking news. Let's get it. We have breaking news here. I'll hit it. Breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We got breaking news.
Does not stop. Yes, 100%. I got an interesting text, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then a few seconds later, Schefter tweeted out this: Russell Wilson is retiring. He's finalizing a deal to become a CBS sports analyst. Russell Wilson had shared that he was offered a contract by the Jets, and thus he was contemplating his future. So he is officially retiring, apparently, and he's going into the world of broadcasting and analysis, which means the Jets will not be signing Russell Wilson, obviously, as he goes here. So, wow, news continues to pour in all over the place, Lurch. There you go. No Russell Wilson.
I think he's making the right decision, to be honest with him.
I don't think so. This is going to be your maybe Lurch, you could give us your broadcasting angle here. So maybe I'm overrating this. I feel like broadcasting / analysis, whatever you want to call this role, he's going to be like an NFL studio analyst. Like, I feel like that's always going to be there for Russell. Like, if
Yeah, that's
he
true.
did this year,
That is
next year,
true.
or the other year. And football is only here for a limited time. Millions of dollars, the fame, the glory, the everything. Now, again, where I bend the knee, because Lord, you know way more about all this TV stuff than I do. Is that job always there? Maybe not. Maybe this is just the right rotation where CBS is looking for the right guy. And if some people, if you do very well, you stay in that job forever. So maybe that job won't always be available. But that was what my gut said about
Yeah.
this situation. And obviously that's what he's picking.
Well, look, there's always a new flavor of the month, so you got to watch that in broadcasting. Number
right.
two, I do think that it would be. I do think he could play another year, 2 years, 3 years, even if he wanted to, if he was still capable, and get into and he'd still want him in broadcasting. So I do think there'd be a door there for him. I think the challenge for Russell in broadcasting is going to be, can he stay in the room? Because they're always interested in, Tom Brady when he retired. I mean, Russell's not Tom Brady, but they're always interested in these kinds of guys. Bringing a new opinion into the room, a new talker into the room. But it's just not about wearing the snazzy suit anymore and being able to put a few words together. It is about your uniqueness, and do you stand out, and do you resonate with viewers? Do viewers like what you have to say? Do they find you interesting? So on and so forth. And I think the harder part for this guy, because he is telegenic, he is well spoken, he's got a famous wife. I mean, he's got a lot of things going for him. He's won Super Bowls. Okay, he's got a lot of stuff.
Super Bowl one.
But one. But is he interesting? Is he going to be interesting? I think.
Who was your guy? Who was your guy? Was it A-Rod, Tom Brady, both? Who you and Bud? I remember you guys having this debate
when
before.
A-Rod came in.
We were both A-Rod.
Really
okay,
surprised.
Okay,
we were both very, very surprised at how interesting A-Rod was. Like, he was just bringing all.
But to your point, you were surprised because you didn't think he would be interesting, correct?
Yeah, I wasn't sure that he would be. I mean, he's kind of vilified guy, and I don't know, he's so, it's almost like he's too good looking. He's too model-esque, he's dating J-Lo. I mean, just A-Rod is just this, and then the steroid thing. I don't know. It just all had a tawdriness to it. And then he's like model-esque, and just thought, he's going to be all flash, no substance. And he was the exact opposite. As flashy as he might be, as good looking as he might be, you started talking baseball, and you're like, yeah, he's right about that. Well, that's really interesting. Oh, I never thought of it that way. Like, he came in the booth and was, wasn't in the booth. He was in the studio. He came in the studio, and it was just like, just pointing out all these really interesting things. It wasn't all that different than when Romo first took over as a color guy,
for sure.
And he's just like, they're going to run the tight end screen here. And you're like, well, and then boom, they're like, does this freaking guy know what the play is? Is someone handed him the playbook?
That was crazy.
Like, his knowledge of how teams line up, studying the teams himself on film, and then saying, they're going to run this play. There's only 3 plays that can run out of this, and in this situation, this is the one that makes sense. And you explain the whole thing, and you'd be like, damn. And then literally CBS started saying to Romo, could you stop telling people what's going to happen? It's like, it became a thing. Like, they don't want him to give too much, Well, that was one of the coolest things, and they took away one of his superpowers. It was just like, come on, stop doing that, And now he's, Romo, the luster's off the rose a little bit, the bloom is off the rose a bit.
Yeah, he's just,
a lot of people don't like him anymore. It's just too much Jim.
Yeah, there's just a little unrefinedness. I don't know if that's a word. There is a lack of refinement there. Like, he just sort of does the like, he just makes sounds. I don't know. It's sort of weird. But let me go.
It's the idea of being repetitive. Television,
that too.
About TV. Again, I have a history in TV. Not that I'm some great TV god. All right, but I observe it and I understand. I think in a different way than the average person does, because I was in the business. There just can't be this repetitiveness. You have to evolve. You have to change. You have to offer new things all the time. And it's not easy. And I don't know that Russell will be able to do that. Just to get back on topic here for a second.
Yes.
I don't know. I think Russell initially in the studio is going to be interesting. But how can he keep that going? And a lot of that is doing homework, really studying it, being incredibly dedicated to it. And I think a lot of these guys, they just think, I put on the snazzy suit and I'm Russell. I'm not saying that's the way he's going to be, but a lot of guys do that. And then they're good the first couple of times, and then people go, same old, same old. He's always saying the same things, and there's no substance to it all. So that's the concern. But I do think the reason I say it's the right decision, Boy Green, is not because I think he's going to be a great broadcaster. I have no clue. All right. Okay. The reason I think it's the right decision, I think he's washed as a quarterback. That's why.
Okay, well, there you go.
So there's the point of there's the case in point of the whole thing. I understand you wanted him on the Jets. You didn't want him. He stinks. Okay. He's done.
Okay.
He's washed. He can't move anymore. His superpower, being his size, was the ability to escape. He can't escape anymore. Therefore, he's ordinary. He's the exact opposite of Aaron Rodgers in a lot of ways. Like Rodgers, I could still see, if you squint hard enough, I could still see a way with less movement that he could still be incredible because he's just incredible deliverer of the football. He reads defenses in an incredible way. He's like a savant. He's got a little Peyton Manning-ish stuff to him. I mean, this guy's a former MVP. Russell, it was just, I think his career, a terrific career that he had, was based more on his athleticism, and he doesn't have that anymore. Therefore, in my opinion, he's washed.
So let me ask you this real quick on him. So sometimes you've said, I'm not sure what a guy's going to be, A-Rod, and they're like, whoa, better than I thought. Like Tom Brady, I imagine you and I don't imagine. I know you and Bud had serious concerns what you thought he was going to be, and so far with his broadcast career, you're still like, yeah, he's as crappy as I thought he'd be, or is he better than you thought?
He's better than I thought he would be. I thought he would really stink. I thought he'd be very boring and uninteresting. So far, he's a little better than I thought. He's not like out of this world great.
Okay.
He's a little better than I thought. And it appears, we'll see, because he's a co-owner of a team and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, a lot of crazy
stuff. And he's got all this other stuff going on in his life. But like I just said to you about Russell or anybody else that comes out of off the field and into the booth, all right, or into the studio, the fact of the matter is, are you going to become a study? Are you going to become somebody who really, really brings new and interesting things every week? And I think that will be the challenge here for Brady. All signs are from people that I know in this business is that he is working really hard, that he really does care, and that he actually puts in a lot of time. So if a guy with all that knowledge, who has the King's English as part of their world, good grip of the King's English, and studies it, I think there's a greater chance for success. And of course, he's got a nice little moniker, that says Tom Brady. I mean, that's
that helps. The 7 Super Bowls and all that.
He's a lightning rod. I mean, people either love him or hate him, but he's a lightning rod. So that's going to get people to the television to watch him, to hear what he has to say.
Okay, so what's your gut here to finish it off with Russell Wilson? Do you believe Russell Wilson is going to be a good broadcast? Again, his is different, right? Brady's going to in the booth calling games. Wilson over here is going to be an analyst in the studio in pregame and halftime and postgame. So it's a different role for people who don't understand that. But do you think he's going to be any good, or is he going to be terrible? Russell Wilson, what's your gut?
This is just my gut, and I don't want to wish. I don't want to wish bad on someone who I haven't even. What am I to judge on? I want to see what he says. I want to hear what he says. I want to watch
media. I guess is your only thing you're judging on.
But you're asking me for my gut, so I'm gonna do. I'm gonna answer your question. All right. Yeah. I think he's gonna stink. There you go. All right.
Okay.
I was somewhat wrong so far in Brady. We'll see how he evolves, or is he kind of a 1 or 2 hit wonder, and then bye-bye, he's off to other things, and he really never got all that interesting. But I think Russ, my gut just tells me it's going to be a disaster.
Fair enough.
It's not going to be a disaster, but it's just going to be too vanilla. There's going to be too much vanilla ice cream. It's just not going to be interesting. I need some Rocky Road. I need some, I need some chocolate mint chip. And I'm not getting that with Russell. I think I'm going to get a lot of vanilla. I think he's going to be telegenic. I think he's going to speak the words very well, but I'm still going to be like, I don't really agree with that. Or that's kind of dumb. Isn't that
that's
obvious?
the piece. That's the piece there. I think he will avoid being a disaster because he is eloquently spoken. He is, when you're in a 2-man booth, or 3-man booth for this other example I'm going to give, you have nowhere to hide. The alliance is small. The tribe is small. There's nowhere to hide. So like Jason Witten, oh dear God, he was terrible in the Monday Night Football. And I love Jason Witten as a player. I love him, but he was god awful. He was terrible. But again, nowhere to hide. Like again, if you're in a broadcast booth, you're terrible. We can find out very quickly. When you're in a studio home with 4 or 5 guys,
hide for a while.
Cower and all these guys, like, man, and you're going to be in segments where you're put in positions to succeed. Like, obviously, they're going to try to get your money's worth. They're going to put you on the whiteboard and do things where they want to see you, and you're under the spotlight. But I think that should avoid him being a complete disaster. He could be terrible, but it'll avoid being disaster because of some of his foundational pieces and the people around him. Yeah.
I think, again, if he develops chemistry with the guys around him,
yes,
then I think he could be even better than what, even the content dictates in some cases, because if there's chemistry, people still enjoy that, especially in those studio shows. I'd offer you, like, say, Michael Strahan. Strahan's just an interesting guy. Like, I don't agree with all his tapes. Sometimes he's just
goofy,
but he's funny, and he's engaging, and he messes with the other hosts, and there's a nice chemistry.
Makes fun of himself.
There's a reason he's part of Good Morning America. Like, you have to be that way. You have to have that ability to whoever is around you to still be affable and funny sometimes and pensive and all these different emotions. You have to have some of that, and it's a talent. It's a talent. And Michael Strahan, I think a lot of that is inert talent. I'm sure he's worked at it too, but I think a lot of that is just inert talent that he's had in his body his whole life, and now it's coming out on television. So he just comes across really, really well. So that'll be the thing here with Russell. That'll be the early things I'll be watching when he makes his debut on TV. Does he have that affability to him? That'll be interesting because he is a good talker. So he's got that. He's a good looking guy. Yeah, those two things. Those two things are important in TV, but there are other things that keep you on TV. So is he going to get on TV? Yes. Is he going to stay on TV in the short term? Yes. Is he going to stay on TV the long term? Is he going to be a guy on that show that say, we got to have this guy? This guy's part of it. Is he going to become what Terry Bradshaw became? Okay, with Fox, It's just it. He's just there because Terry's just wacky and zany, and for all the that craziness plays. Yeah, okay, it played for a long, long time with audiences. So let's see what Russell can do. Or is he the great analyst like A-Rod and just like, man, the content is so good. It doesn't even matter whether you laugh at him or not. It's just so insightful and it's so cool. And he's taking us inside the huddle.
But you got to give us something. Entertainment.
You got to have something, right? There's got to be quality for you.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. That's a good way to put it. All right, I'm sorry. That was a very long answer to a very simple question. I'm sorry that I went on and on about that, but you have touched a nerve, obviously, of something that I'm very passionate about.
You just went to go grab something. Go ahead.
Yes. Let's do that really quick. Gosh, man, this show's getting away from us really fast today. All right. So, so you have one back on your shelf. I have one on my shelf. You can see it says To the Manchild, right?
Mine's
right there.
Let's go back here.
All right. Yours is back there. Drink only in victory. Beautiful NBA logo on it, by the way. And it's from our former intern who used to do our trending around the water cooler segment, Rob Finger. And in here, of course, is a bottle of Moet and Chandon champagne.
Okay.
Sure. Sure. Is it Moet or Moet?
Isn't that Monet?
No, it's not Monet. There's no N in there. No N. It's just
there isn't.
Moet.
I misread it before. I thought it was Monet.
Find out how you say that is. It's been a brand in champagne forever.
It's the official sponsor of the NBA, so I'm sure that's easy to look up.
It is French, and this is an unopened bottle inside this beautiful box, which is like hermetically sealed. I still haven't opened it, but whichever one of our teams, and the teams that were listed were Jets, Giants, Knicks, Celtics. All right. I gave him the Celtics, folks. Think about that for a second.
You got dangerous. That came just after we won the championship. I'm pretty sure.
The Celtics, this is suicide on my part.
They're going to
win a championship before any of these other teams. But whichever team wins a championship first, that person gets to pop their champagne and celebrate. All right. And so I'm on the cusp, baby. I am 4 wins away from cracking this baby open and spraying it all over myself right here on the air. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm just going to put down a cloth.
Oh, you got your things, Lurch. You got your snow goggles to, when you're going crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They wear in the locker room.
Too.
That's how they cover the eyes when they get all crazy. Yeah,
got some snow goggles this year for my snow blowing, as you saw when I was out there snow blowing this past winter. I posted some shorts on that, folks. Go check those out. Always, everything's in our YouTube channel. So,
anyway, more breaking news. More breaking news. Wait a second.
God.
Good Lord, more breaking news.
This is a crazy day.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, here it is. All right, hit the thing for me, Lurch.
All right, I'll hit the thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Welcome back. Odell Beckham Jr. is returning to the New York Giants. Beckham visited the team again Monday and is signing with New York. I saw a few of the Giants reporters, Jordan Renan. So, the Giants news came out that they signed Braxton Berrios. And then he tweeted, I don't think the Giants are done yet. And a lot of people went, well, what does that mean? OBJ's back, Lurch, dusted off in the back of the closet. The reunion is here. Your initial thoughts. Let's go. Breaking news. Wow.
I'm going to be open. Like I said, I'm going to be open to it. Okay. I'm going to be open to it. I honestly say initially I'm not in favor of it, but I'm going to be open to it because, again, my motto, along with a lot of Giant fans out there right now, is in Harbaugh we trust. So if this guy thinks he can still play, this guy thinks he can still contribute, this guy thinks he's not going to be a distraction in that locker room, and I don't think they need any other distractions in that locker room right now with everything that's been going on in the last 2 weeks. All right. I'm okay with it, but my radar's out, man. My radar's out. This guy, the first sign of some stupid video, some dopey quote, some bad tweet. Bye. Goodbye. Okay. You signed for the league minimum and we're letting you go for the league minimum. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Like, he has got to be on his best behavior.
Tight leash, you think? Tight leash.
He has to be mentor to young players. Okay. While trying to make him, trying to create a relevance for himself as a tangible target on this team. Okay. That's it. Okay. Nothing else. I don't want to hear any nonsense. All I want to hear about Odell is how hard he's working, how good he's been with the young guys, how he's working with Malachi on his routes, okay, how he's showing him how to make one-handed catches, all right, with the jugs machine. Like, that's all I want to see. I want to see videos of Odell teaching Malachi Fields this, teaching Malachi Fields that, working with the young tight ends, everything. I want to see this guy spreading the wealth to his teammates, okay? I want to see him being the ultimate, penultimate teammate. Whether I play or not, who cares? I'm just here to help everybody in the room and make this team better. That better be the new Odell in this reunion world here. That's it. Anything less than that, I'm going to be PO'd and I'm going to be railing against them on the show.
Is there any nostalgia here that makes you feel touchy-feely? You're a touchy-feely guy. Is there any touchy-feely here for Odell? Because I know some Giant fans, we heard it. We've been talking to the Giants collective, right? And some of them are in the middle. Some of them were very for, some were very against. Where are you on OBJ, the nostalgia element?
I said it earlier in the show. There is no nostalgia for me personally.
Okay.
Because he ruined the nostalgia when he took a wrecking ball to his own career with the Giants and forced them to trade him. He embarrassed the ownership like 2, 3. I mean, just kept embarrassing the team. Like, no, I'm sorry. There's no nostalgia in my brain. You want to know when I'll get nostalgic, Boy Green?
Okay.
When he goes out there and catches 50-plus passes, 10 touchdowns, okay, and makes a difference on the team. Then I'll wax poetic about him. I'll be nostalgic. I'll say, wow, look at what a change of scenery did. Look at what wearing that blue and white has done to this guy. Man, he did deserve a chance. I was wrong back then, all right? I will offer my apologies when he goes out and gets me 50-plus and 10 touchdowns, okay, or somewhere in that neighborhood.
So let me ask you, what are expectations for Odell Beckham Jr.? Because some Giant fans that remember finger touch catch are going to be like, "Oh, Odell Beckham, Malik Neighbors, 2 superstar wide receivers." Some Giant fans are going to lose their crap. What are your expectations heading into this thing of what to expect from this?
What I would like for the Giants to get out of this is a guy who can be very, very dangerous down near the goal line. I want him to be a goal line target. I want him to be a mentor for the young guys. Right? The guy can still catch the football. He can catch it with either hand or both. He doesn't even need both because his hands are really likely. He's a really, really good catcher of the ball. I'm not going to take that away from him. The speed isn't there anymore. I don't think he's as elusive as he once was. But, was Julian Edelman the most elusive guy in the world? I mean, we have seen guys make it in the NBA. Wes Welker, was he like the most elusive guy in the world? I mean, undersized. It's, this Cooper Kupp. These guys are just about getting open and catching the ball every single time it comes to them. And I think there are some elements of Odell's game over the years that say that he could be that guy. Now, he has to be, again, willing to accept less than I'm the number one receiver and that whole ego thing. I don't want his ego to disappear, but I want him to understand. I want him to be more relative to ego versus talent and how it all fits in at this stage of his career. And I hope he's really motivated. I hope he's really motivated to close out what was a career that started in an amazing way and kind of fizzled. Maybe there's a back end, nice little epitaph at the end of this thing that says, hey, these last year or two, Odell went back to the Giants and he actually showed he could still play football. I would like to think that he wants that for himself. So let selfish Odell crave that, okay, as a piece of the puzzle. But don't complain when you're not getting targets. Don't complain about anything, okay? Complaining is out. No complaining, okay? Whatever happens, happens. You're going to get what you deserve, and that's it. You're not going to be Jonathan, dare I say, from Survivor, who is still out there mouthing off about why he didn't win the $2 million, all right, and why he should have won the game. Okay, maybe he should have, but I don't care. Mouthing about it doesn't do you any good. It's over. Move on to the next thing. Get into a new Survivor cast when they have another reunion season and go win that one. All right. And Aubrey nearly missed how many times, right? Yeah. So none of that. I don't want to hear any belly aching. What I want to hear, the only thing I want to hear about Odell is how he's nose to the grindstone, doing his work every single day. That's what I want.
Well, I just tweeted this out, Lurch, because I'm like, what? I just wanted to look. In 2016, Lurch, Odell Beckham Jr. was on the Giants and Geno Smith was on the Jets. 10 years later, they're back where they started. That is nuts. What? 2016. If I went into a coma in 2016, just as like they were leaving the team and say, hey, buddy, you're going to be gone for a decade. And I wake back up. Hey, what happened? Hey, Geno and OBJ are back. What? Like, that's nuts. That's crazy.
All right. Hey, Macho's throwing up. This is what he wants out of Odell. I want a little more than that. 40 receptions, 6 TDs, 350 yards. You know, Macho, it might be on the cusp of livability. Yeah, especially the 6 TDs, you know.
Right.
I'd love it to be a little closer to 10, and I'd like the receptions to be a little, 50, instead of 40. All right. I know it is. But my plan with this guy would be make him a weapon at the goal line as his primary goal, like his primary thing. So he's not out there running routes the entire game. When you get into the situational football, you're in the red zone. Now he's a factor. Now he's part of it. Now he's involved in the plays that you're throwing when you're throwing the ball. So that's why I'm leaning a little more towards. I know it's a lot. I know I'm asking a lot, but you're asking me for, essentially what's Odell's ceiling? What would you wish? What would your desire be? So, but that's reasonable what Macho's putting out there. So thank you for that, Macho. Here's another thought coming in here from, this is Macho also. I didn't realize that was you also. The OBJ signing makes me feel like Neighbors isn't going to be 100% this year, which that's real. I mean, that's a great thing to bring 100%. Up, Macho. Another great point there. I don't disagree with you. I think there is a reality to the Giants are getting a little itchy, a little bit nervous about not only is Neighbors going to get back this year, because he's going to get back, all right, and the when, but then what is he? When he's back, at what point is he the Malik Neighbors that we saw before this injury? That's the greater concern, because the surgery he had was very serious. The recovery hasn't been very, very smooth. He's had to have a second operation to try to clean up what happened in the initial surgery. So yeah, I'm extremely concerned. Not that when Neighbors is back, but what he is when he's back. Is a big, big concern. So there you go. So okay.
Look at all this breaking news. What a crazy show this was on a Monday on June 1st.
Insane show today. What the heck? We haven't gotten to our lead topic yet. What is happening? It's 1 hour and 30 into the show. All right, let's take a break, for God's sakes. I need a sip of water here. All right. When we come back, we're going to I'll show everybody our raffle prizes for this month, because we only have 22 days left now to get raffle tickets in. So we'll go back through the raffle prize, which we unveiled last week. We'll get into that, and then we'll obviously talk about the Knicks and the Spurs, and we'll preview the NBA Finals. All right. So be back in a moment. A word first from our friends at Box Drop.
Considering that we sleep nearly 1/3 of our lives, buying the right mattress is essential. At Box Drop Syracuse Mattress and Sofa Outlet, you'll get a unique experience, one that saves you 30 to 70% off retail prices on top-of-the-line mattresses like Sapphire Sleep. At Box Drop, you'll schedule a mattress fitting appointment and get one-on-one service directly with Paul, the owner. No middleman. Family-owned, huge savings, no-pressure sales designed to save you time and money. And now Box Drop Syracuse has sectional sofas and love seats as well, with prices designed to fit your budget. Box Drop Syracuse Mattress and Sofas. Set up your appointment today at boxdropsyracuse.com.
Finding the right local roofing company can be tricky. You don't want to hire the wrong roofers, or you could end up spending a fortune on repairs. The pros at Northeast Roofing Professionals can ensure your home is protected by a strong and sturdy roof. Locally owned and operated, over 30 years experience, free estimates, and competitively priced. Don't settle for an inexperienced roofing contractor. Turn to Northeast Roofing Professionals. Discounts for military and first responders. Reach out and let them put a sturdy roof over your head. NERPCNY.com. NERPCNY.com.
All right, we're back. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital at MC Show Digital. Don't forget that the thumbs up like on your way in if you're just arriving for our video, and also, or our live show, I should say. And also, if you're not already a subscriber, we are trying to march our way towards 1,000. We're less than 75 to 1,000 subscribers. If you can do anything to put a little gasoline on that fire, we'd really appreciate it. Spread the word among your friends and your family to subscribe to our channel. It's absolutely free, and the link right there, youtube.com/@MC Show Digital. Help us get to 1,000 by our year anniversary. We got about a month and a half to go, so we need you guys really bad to get that done for us. So if you could help us get to that number before we get to our anniversary, that'd be an awesome thing for us to do. Go ahead, BG. You
Learned.
got something else?
Yes,
You got
I
more breaking
do.
news. Like every time we go away for a second. I mean, I
Yeah.
went down to get a bottle of champagne. Next thing I came back, OBJ was signed. What the heck is
Oh,
going
is
on?
that what you brought it up for? The OBJ
No, I
signing?
did
Was
not.
that,
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but there it is now, Boy Green, in the background there, in front of my play like a champion. There's that
oh,
champagne.
wow. Oh, there it is. It's up there. I was
When
looking.
the Knicks get to 3 wins in this series, probably the Giants football will go away. All right.
Okay.
And there'll be a shiny metal bucket. All right. In that bucket will be ice. And inside that ice will be the bottle itself outside of the box in there on ice, Boy Green, waiting for this thing to finally.
Did you put that over there because it could be, play like a champion Knicks champion? You wanted to get it as close to that sign, sort of osmosis.
Just so it's in the screen.
Oh, okay, there you go. That works too.
Just a talk piece of the chance that champagne could be able. And if this doesn't happen for the Knicks, the Spurs play phenomenal basketball. Victor Wembanyama is an animal, and he wins his first championship. And that thing, who knows? That thing could be on there for another 50 years. That could be put back on my mantle in my living room, which is where it has been sitting ever since.
We do have some, let me just play this. It's sort of a combo platter and also allows us to share some news.
Hell yeah.
T-Town Jet has utilized the PayPal Venmo path to send in some raffle tickets. So he is now second place in our contest. He had 1 raffle ticket. He now jumps to 3. But this now allows us to make an announcement. I wish I would have done this a little bit earlier because now there's anywho. The point is this, folks. You can see it on the scrolling ticker. We now have Venmo and PayPal for @MC Show Digital. So it is @MC Show Digital, our YouTube channel @MC Show Digital, our PayPal Venmo now @MC Show Digital. We're trying to make it easier than ever. If you guys want to avoid all the YouTube nonsense, we appreciate any membership, super chats, super stickers, or anything you guys choose to give us through YouTube. We're very blessed. However, if you ever choose to give it to us in a different way, Venmo or PayPal, as an example, you guys now have the ability to do it. It'll always be on the scrolling ticker. That is @MC Show Digital. Just wait for the end of the scrolling ticker and you will see it. If ever you're confused or you don't know exactly what it is, you don't want to send it to the wrong place, it is @MC Show Digital. So shout out to T-Town Jet. You could give him a video here in a second, Lurch, but thank you for sending that in. We appreciate it. Thank you for sending it in to me. I'll flip that over to the MC Show Digital channel for you for today. Thank you very much for doing that. And moving forward, you guys hit it up @MC Show Digital now on PayPal and Venmo. Pretty sweet.
All right, quick video here for T-Town for that. Thank you, T-Town.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Little Happy Gilmore there.
Love that. So T-Town Jet, there you go. 3 raffle tickets. It's amazing. So thank you for supporting the show.
All right, so the tote board no longer heavy, and again, really quick, how do you get them? And then I'll go through the prizes. Okay, how do you get raffle tickets? Okay, number 1, you become a member if you're not already. Automatically, you get 2 raffle tickets for that. All right, of the 12th Manchild, which is our lowest membership level. If you go up to our second level, the Die Hard level, you get 10 raffle tickets right away. If you become a Hall of Fame member, all right, you'll number 1, you'll join our fantasy football league for the fall. Okay, you'll get an invitation for that, and number 2, you get 20 instant raffle tickets. And by the way, for those Die Hards and for those Hall of Famers, every month you will roll over and get another. As long as you keep the membership, you'll get another 10, another 20, just depending on what level you're at. Super chats, super stickers. Every value worth $3 will be worth a single raffle ticket. So if you did 3, it's 1, 6, it's 2, 9, it's 3. And if you gift memberships, okay, of the 12th Manchild, for every 5 that you gift, you'll get 20 raffle tickets. Each gifted membership is worth, just like if you joined, 2 raffle tickets. So you kind of double up, dare I say. Normally, 5 would be worth 10, but if you gift 5 or more, you get 20. So we'll double up the raffle tickets if you go that route. And this, again, all goes to support the channel, folks. We can't appreciate, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And again, as Boy Green was just saying, now we have Venmo and PayPal. So if you want to cut out the middleman of YouTube, I know sometimes it's easier to just click on the pay on YouTube and do it that way, but if you have those apps on your phone, it's so simple to do Venmo and PayPal. Just find us @MC Show Digital. I've created accounts for both of those on both PayPal and Venmo. So if that's convenient, you could send us the money directly that way, and we will put it onto the tote board as we receive that money, as T-Town Jet did this morning. So thank you for doing that. And those are the ways to contribute. The prizes. Let's get to the juicy prizes. What are they? All right. First one here. An MC Show Digital 12th Manchild laser engraved pint glass.
Terrific.
beautiful, lovely pint glass with beer in it. It even looks more lovely. I was sipping beer out of one of these a week or so ago. Looked lovely. All right, so you get laser engraves that can go in the dishwasher with no worries. That thing will last for years and years to come. All right, number 2. In honor of the U.S. Open and Father's Day, U.S. Open is coming up. We are now in the month of June, Boy Green. Father's Day, the 21st of June, the day before our raffle. I thought, let me get some golf prizes in the mix for people who love golf and love the U.S. Open. So I've got 2 brand new golf hats. The first one is a Cleveland, beautiful white and black golf hat. Nice design, beautiful patch on there. Never been worn before. It is adjustable. It's got the Cleveland logo on the back. The tags are literally still on this thing, all right? The tags are still, this thing's never been worn. Gorgeous, gorgeous hat, all right? Super nice white hat, all right? And a second white hat if you don't like Cleveland. How about Titleist, my friends? The Pro V1, beautiful mesh hat. Titleist hat. Red on the front, Pro V1 on one side, FootJoy on the other side, and even a Titleist patch in the back. And you can see it's the mesh in the back, and then it's got the solid white front. So in honor of Father's Day and the U.S. Open, I'm sending you those 2 caps. And then these interesting 2 things that are tied together. I love these two. Okay. These 2 things are tied together. So first is this metallic.
That's right. Let me full screen it here. Yeah.
Tin. Okay. Poster. Muhammad Ali versus Liston. Muhammad Ali literally standing over a somewhat dead carcass. He's not dead, but he's knocked down.
Might as well be. Yeah.
Round of that fight back in 1965. Right there, the date etched on it. All right. It's got a nice little white. White border to it, and you can see the holes right in it, so you can tack it right to anything.
Pre-done for you, yeah, right.
Done for you, really cool. So really easy to hang. We used to have this in our studio for years. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And then along with that, I've got an autographed item. This is really cool. This ties together with the whole Muhammad Ali boxing thing. And that's this book, all right? The book is My View from the Corner. It's a book written by Muhammad Ali's former trainer, Angelo Dundee, along with Burt Randolph Sugar, one of the all-time great, if not the greatest boxing writer in the history of boxing, with a foreword, by the way, by Muhammad Ali. So 3 boxing legends attached to this book. Even the cooler thing, aside from the fact that it's a cool book of Angelo Dundee talking about what it was like to be Muhammad Ali's trainer and taking us inside the corner, it's autographed by both Angelo Dundee and Burt Sugar, neither of whom is alive anymore. So you can't get these guys' autographs anymore. Both of these guys, world famous in the boxing community. So if you like boxing memorabilia, this is a really cool collector's item. You get the Muhammad Ali poster, metallic poster, and this View from the Corner book. So those are the prizes. All of those prizes are going to be shipped to one singular person on the 22nd of June, the day after Father's Day. How do you get tickets? I just told you the whole thing. You know how to get tickets. So sign up, get tickets, get as many raffle tickets as you can if you like the items, and we will draw that winner live on the air on the 22nd of June. All right? So time is ticking. The clock is ticking to get your raffle tickets. So get in, do a super chat, do a super sticker, become a member if you're not already, so on and so forth. Okay.
Or Venmo and PayPal, again, at MC Show Digital. Wink.
Easy. Okay. Now, let's get to the NBA Finals, boys.
Sure, yeah,
right. Good Lord. Into the show, my Lord, what's just the way that things happen sometimes. That's the whole beauty of a live show, right? You just never know what's going to happen. So now let's just start with the football stuff. We could have gone the other way. I'm glad we started with the football stuff because all the breaking news was all football news. We'd have to keep interrupting, talking about the Knicks and the Spurs. So here we are. Finals are in order. The Spurs, how surprised are you, Boy Green? Let's start with this question. How surprised are you that the Spurs were able to take out OKC, considering we know anything can happen in a Game 7, but they had to do it in Oklahoma City, one of the toughest arenas in all of basketball to play in. Those crowds in that arena are super loud. They're really, really, really ferocious about their team, have been for years. What are your thoughts about what the Spurs did there?
It was crazy because, the Thunder are going through their playoffs easily. They didn't have any losses. Sweep. And you're like, oh, they're not going to have any problems. And I'm just like, man, they are on cruise control in a bad way. Like in my head, like they haven't been challenged. They don't see any flaws within themselves, right? It's easier when you lose to find the holes because you're like, we lost this thing. When you're just winning, everything's great. Everyone on ESPN says, dynasty, you guys are going to win the next 10 championships in a row. They're being fed that. And I think sometimes when you're in a position in sports and you're getting fed every day, you just start to get fat. you're just gluttonous with all the success and the praise and the glory, and we're the defending champions. Oh, no one's on our level, the power rankings and everything. Like, I don't know. I just had a feeling that the Spurs just had the right combination. Again, it was going to be difficult. The Thunder are a really talented team. They're deep. They got a million more draft picks. So the team's only going to keep getting better. I just had a feeling that Victor Wembanyama, he's such a unique freak. You can't prepare for something like that. And unfortunately for Chet Holmgren, like that was the perfect, kryptonite for Chet Holmgren to go against a guy like Victor Wembanyama that made a lot of people sort of lose their stuff and go overreactionary the other way.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, I just felt like the Spurs just sort of, I don't know if team of destiny, that's probably too dramatic, but like this was a team that won 30 something games last year, missed the playoffs completely. And you just felt that there was something there. So to be honest, and boy, Sean Devaney, our NBA insider, saying, I think the Thunder could handle this in 5 and the Spurs win it in 7. So it goes deeper than he could have possibly ever thought, and the other team wins. So, yeah, there was, again, I predicted it to happen. I predicted the Spurs would do it. But to actually, to your point, to beat the defending champs in Game 7 in their building when you didn't even make the playoffs last year, they're the defending champs. They have all kinds of championship experience. You, nothing. This is your first playoff run as a team, let alone making a deep run like this. So, I predicted it, but I can't lie. In the moment, like I'm just seeing the big shots. Like they got off to a hot start in this game too. They're up like 14-3 or something. You're like, oh my goodness, what way to punch the dragon in the face, go into the lion's den here and just hit him in the face. Now the Thunder came back several times, but that shows the mettle of the Spurs that they weren't shaken. Like when the Thunder started getting on a run, and it happened near the end of the first half, and the Spurs were able to rally a little, so they were still leading at halftime, but like a breather of like, oh my goodness, that Thunder wave can sort of just come at you from nowhere. And for any normal man, you can crumple under the pressure. So I was, at the end of the day, a little surprised that the Spurs were able to actually do it, but I predicted it, and it's exciting. And again, I think Knicks fans, this has to be what you're hoping for. The Thunder are a monster. Maybe you would have had a chance against them either way, but now you don't have to worry about it. You get a inexperienced championship team that hadn't been to the finals like 2014. That's Popovich. That's Manu Ginobili. That's Tim Duncan. We're talking about a different era of Spurs basketball. That is Popovich is there in the building somewhere, but he's not there anymore. Like these are different beasts. Both of these teams have not been at this level in this iteration in a long time. So yeah, it's spectacular.
Yeah, Pop. They're saying that Pop has been very much, involved behind the scenes a bit. I mean, obviously
Okay.
his health has really challenged him, but
Of course.
Is it Mitch Johnson, their head coach? I told you,
Yes,
he's
he's
25.
30. I can't remember. I looked
39,
at the age.
39, yeah.
39. Yeah, there
He's
you go.
39. Looks like he's like 25. I'm like, who's this young guy that's the Spurs coach now, But, he was the interim guy, and now they gave him the position, and so far so good. But he's definitely got Pop whispering in his ear a little bit, at least in between games and on the phone and texting, I suppose, to some degree. By the way, not to get off of basketball here, but a lot of comments popping up. I guess Adam Schefter is floating out some stuff about Myles Garrett perhaps being traded. Johnny Boy was the first to jump on this, saying, are you guys seeing that a Myles Garrett trade might actually happen? Oh my God.
It's the June 1 stuff
Happening
to
here.
me. So the
Wow.
Browns earlier this offseason shifted money in his contract that would make it easier to trade him. But they say, it's just some behind the scenes stuff. We're just moving. This means nothing. Don't overreact to it. Is what they told people when it came out. But still, you're like, but why do it then if it's just this inconsequential thing? Like it raised a few eyebrows. Like, that's interesting. And then, did you hear the Todd Monken quote about Myles Garrett, Lurch?
No. What's the Monken?
So Todd Monken's doing OTAs, and someone asks, "Hey, coach, since you've been the head coach, have you gotten a chance to speak to Garrett?" They just say Garrett, and then Todd goes, "Huh, Myles? No, of course not." Like he just gave a bizarre. Like
I
at
did
first
catch
he
a little of this. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So at first he said like Myles as if there's any other Garrett they'd be talking about on the
Right.
team. That was weird. And
Yeah.
number two, just so emphatically say, yeah, like obviously not. What do you mean obviously not? You've been hired for like months. This is the best player on the team, one of the best players in franchise history.
Bizarre.
You haven't met him yet? Like it's just weird. It's
Yeah.
strange.
Very
It's
strange.
bizarre. So
Oh
there
boy.
may be something there. If I'm the Bills, I hope not for my Jets' sake, but if I'm the Bills or any team, I'm giving up whatever it takes. This guy just broke the sack record last year, for God's sakes, and he's still young. Like, I don't know, man. I would give up unspeakable things for Myles Garrett. If I'm any other team in the league, like a team like the Jets or something, that doesn't make sense because of where they are. But like any other legitimate, the Lions, the Eagles, the Rams, anything, any team, I'd be finding out whatever it takes. I don't give a crap what the price is. Myles Garrett's a freak. So yeah, I've heard Schefter hinting at it. Yeah,
Giants could go after him, and we'll give you both Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau, and we'll take Myles Garrett off you. And there you go. We'll give you 2 edges for 1. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
That'll solve our problems really quickly.
But man, look, right? Can this? We're in June. There's not supposed to be a lot going on. Some OTAs, okay, some mandatory minicamp, but like at the end of June, there's supposed to be nothing. There's a AJ Brown trade that could happen. He's a seismic player. Myles Garrett could be traded. He's a seismic player. Man, the NFL, it never stops.
Never stops, man. It's kind of crazy. So, all right. Thanks for bringing that up, folks. Yeah. There's been a little waft here. And I think this June 1st thing, this day in particular, we came on here to do our live show today, as we always do on Mondays. There's a lot of things stirring because it's June 1st. And this is the change in, the contract situation and the money situation that allows teams now to shop in a different way and to look at these things in a different way than they were before we got to June 1st. So there are these dates along the way in the NFL calendar that are like target dates that suddenly start rumors back up and get teams thinking about actually making moves, as we've been talking about with AJ Brown for weeks, that, get to this week. And now we might really see something. Otherwise, we didn't expect to see anything before this because of how long they waited. So that's fascinating. All right, back over to the Knicks and the Spurs here. The NBA Finals, which I said will start on Wednesday night. Very easy to track the games. Again, it's Wednesday and Friday in San Antonio. Then it'll be 2 days off before the next game in New York. So that would be Saturday, Sunday. Monday would be the first game, game 3 in New York. Tuesday, Wednesday would be game 4 in New York. Okay. Then they would travel back to San Antonio. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday in San Antonio. Then if it comes back to New York for game 6, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in New York. And then if it went to game 7, another travel day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay, in San Antonio. Wow. So it's kind of easy to figure it out. When it's moving, 2 days off, then it's on the third day. When it's in the same venue, back-to-back games, then it'll just be 1 day in between, all right, and then the game on the second day. So that's the way you could track it. Very easy to track it that way. So if when's the next game? You don't have to wonder. Are they traveling? Then it's 3 days. If they're not traveling, then it's 2 days from the time that you're talking about. So that's the way to work for the NBA Finals. And obviously San Antonio has the home court. This is unusual for the Knicks too. I talked a little with Sean Devaney about this during our Friday interview, Paul, about, the Knicks have not been in a series so far in these playoffs where they haven't had home court. I mean, you wouldn't have thought that because the Knicks came in as a 3 seed. You thought they're going to not have home court somewhere along the way. But the way that the chips fell with the top 2 seeds getting eliminated before the Knicks had to face either one of them, what did the Knicks end up doing? They ended up getting home court, throughout the playoffs until now. All right. So the Spurs will have home court. They have the better record during the regular season. Either the Spurs or the Thunder, it wouldn't have mattered, had better records than the Knicks. So that's not surprising. That's a little different element. The Knicks will now start on the road instead of at home. They've had that cozy confines. That could change the way the Knicks are a little bit. And as we know, the Knicks have had all these days off, Paul. 8 days to bask, go get a suntan, do all kinds of stuff. And, lo and behold, what will that do to them? We know how rusty they looked when they had essentially the same amount of time off coming out of that prior series that they swept, the Philly series, coming into the series, and how they were rusty against the Cavaliers. It felt like in game 1, missing a lot of shots. But then, of course, they had the miracle comeback at the end of the game where Brunson and everybody went crazy. So what is this? The Knicks have been talking a lot this week. A lot of the dialogue, some of the press conferences, the questions that have been thrown at Mike Brown and the players is, how do you stop that from happening? And the Knicks apparently have been doing all kinds of things to try to make sure that that doesn't happen to them this time. But there's no question the Knicks entered this NBA Finals, Paul, as a fresh team. All right. And they will be fresh in the legs for sure. There has been one development, and that is the Mitchell Robinson thing, which we should discuss here in just a moment. But I see we've been gifted another membership. My God, Boy Green.
Look at this. This is a huge show. Hit
it. Hell yeah.
Go number 1 Austrian Jets. I owe him a video. What are we going to do for video here? All right. I always like this one show that's coming back with another season soon. Ted Lasso.
Paddle. That's it.
By the way, randomly, did you see that Roy Kent is now going to be in a romantic rom-com with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes,
and I just heard this side video that I would never thought Roy Kent loves rom-coms, but the more you know about people, I guess. He said that like he's a rom-com fan and he hasn't seen a good one in a while, so he got in a room with some other director and they like wrote the script, and the guy asked Roy Kent, he said, "Hey, who would you want for the female lead in this?" And he immediately said, "Oh, J-Lo." But would she do it? And they wrote it for J-Lo and sent it to her apparently with a note and said it was for you. And J-Lo went like, "For me?" And then it became a thing. So anywho, that's crazy. Is this 2 raffle tickets, right, Lurch?
2 raffle tickets, right, for Austrian. So thank you, Austrian. Always appreciate your generosity. Nice to have you in the fold this month, and maybe some boxing memorabilia coming your way. Again, the raffle will go on through the 22nd. So we've got a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks before the raffle happens, but certainly get on the tote board, and you can see the current standings and what we have currently for everybody that's already in on the raffle. So again, appreciate it, and it all goes to support the channel. Go ahead, BG.
Yes, no, that membership went to, famous fan of the show, Roy Romano is here. Okay, got to be part of the Romano family, I imagine.
Roy Romano, not Ray Romano.
Not Ray. Roy. Yeah,
like
Roy, not Ray.
That's got to be a thing to carry
it's
around.
His brother or something, maybe. I don't know.
Unless he truly is. Remember, I met
Could be.
I used to hang with Lee Mazzilli's cousin.
So it's up there in the universe. So Austrian, you are on the leaderboard. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate that here on the channel.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, more Jets news is what Austrian is saying.
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Lenny Krieg, our German kicker, he got cut. So now we're
waived already
this morning.
Lenny.
Yeah, so it's not official. The team will announce that roster transactions are official at about like 4 o'clock or so is when the transaction wire hits. So it's about 4 o'clock. Reporters are reporting it early. Kobe King is a linebacker they added last year, and Lenny Krieg. So 1 less kicker, and they've added like another receiver, another linebacker, so we could get it to. They're inconsequential players it's not Odell Beckham Jr. All right. So, but man, what a busy day. Jets news.
Right. We're talking about that depth chart of kicker. Just got a little bit lighter.
Got a little bit lighter. Cade York or Younghoe Koo. God help us.
Boy, good grief. That's not a good choice, man. Come on. Maybe that Ali Haji Sheik is hanging on somewhere out there that you're going to get before the season. A lot can happen. Kickers get cut. Things can happen. So
I'll check a car lot. I'll check a car lot later.
Jets are going to keep their eyes and ears open. That's for sure in this kicker situation. My goodness. Good Lord. All right. Gosh. All right. So like I say, Knicks a little different without the home court, Boy Green. That ought to be interesting for the Knicks. And I don't mind it that much. You always want to have game 7 in your own place, and game 5. I always think 5 and 7 are just these critical swing games.
I agree. Yes.
But the advantage of being on the road first is that if you can just get 1 of 2, all right, you've put the other team on the ropes a bit. Now they feel that pressure of no longer having the home court, and officially you become the home court advantage in the series by just getting 1 out of 2. And we know how good these NBA teams that are in the finals are, and we've seen it throughout the playoffs. It's hard to win 2 games in a row sometimes in these series, to have that same intensity in back-to-back games. So I don't mind it as much. Of course, I'd rather have the home court, but it was never destined that the Knicks were going to. So I don't think it'll necessarily be a detriment to the Knicks, who, by the way, have won 11 games in a row.
They haven't lost in a month, Lurch. Like it's Jake said this. That
feeling the win. They're feeling that right now. They're feeling we're invincible. That's a good thing to be feeling.
They should. Yeah, I would say 2 things on that in a second. Yeah, Jake said the last time the Knicks lost, me, Jake, and a bunch of people were all together at the draft, which is nuts.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Think about that.
It's a month and a half or something like that's nuts. And number 2, Lurch, I know I don't know where you were going to lean with this, but I've heard some people debating on social media. Who would you rather be? The Spurs in a Game 7 emotions. Victor Wembanyama was crying after the game, and that engine is revving. They obviously they required it to even get to the finals. And there's some other people that prefer the rest. Lurch, if I'm you, it's no debate. It's cool what the Spurs just did. You're facing. Isn't every opponent you faced coming off 7 games for the most part, right? Like all the
they're getting all these
whoever the opponent is, right? That's what I'm saying. So like if I'm a Knicks fan, I love that we had all this rest. We're healthy. The Mitch Robinson thing I think was initially scary for a lot of people, but he's going to play with it. He's a tough son of a gun. He's going to wear some sort of a cast of some sort. We'll see how that affects him, but especially against Victor Wembanyama, you're going to need some size in there. But if I'm a Knicks fan, I am over the moon about the rest. So, Lurch, I know they're debating on social media. The debate to me is simple. Simple to me.
Simple.
Yeah, you don't. Do you? Which side are you on? That you think they have too much rest, they're going to be rusty, or would you rather be on the other side there?
Oh no, you rest.
That's
Always,
what I say. Okay.
always rest. It could be a long series, intense defensive intensity, so on and so forth. By the way, I mean, I have to interrupt for this. T-Town Jet stepping to the plate and just gifted through Venmo. He's found our Venmo account, Boy Green.
Okay, it works.
Memberships. Put him on the board for 20 more tickets.
Hell yeah.
20 more tickets for T-Town Jet. He's serious about the raffle this month. He wants that Muhammad Ali, Angelo Dundee book. Yeah, baby. Way to go. Nice going, T-Town. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. As always, your great generosity. Fantastic stuff. Tote board is heavy, Boy Green. Heavy. Hey, all right. I want to play a bit. All right. You give them I'll play all the stuff here.
Okay,
right?
please. Yeah.
You're working on the tote board. I'll work on everything else. All right. So first we got to give them the Terry Tate.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let me pick a couple of cool videos for him here.
Please.
I'm gonna do back-to-back videos for him. All right. All right. Let's go with all right, we'll follow up with the Terry Tate one first, and then I'll give him one that I love.
Well, when it's game time, it's pay time, baby. Woo!
All right, a little Terry Tate there, and I always love this one.
There's one thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win. Win.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
I love Mickey. Oh, I love Mickey so much. Burgess Meredith, I miss you, buddy. I miss you so much.
How long has he been gone, huh?
Yeah, he's been gone a while, I think.
Yeah.
It's the old Dead or Alive, Boy Green. Would you put him on your Dead or Alive? You know, any chance you'd say he was alive?
There was another one. We just talked about it over the weekend while we're on this trip in New Hampshire. Betty White, and here's the confusing part, Lurch. Some people are pronounced dead, like it goes viral on social media, but it was fake. It wasn't true. So, like, Betty White threw me off for a second because there's been a few fakes, but I've been informed that she is indeed dead. There you go. But we got to do our games. Neil Adler's been, yipping at me about this Fun Friday game. So we'll have to see if we can pull it off somewhere here in the middle of NBA Finals and everything else, somewhere over the summer here. We'll keep them posted.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Again, appreciate T-Town. Thanks for your generosity. Austrian, thanks for your generosity. Awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel. It means the world to us. And again, for those of you who can't contribute monetarily, help us with subscribers. We're really, really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, less than 75 away. Want to try and get there by our year anniversary. We only got about 6 weeks to go, man. We need you. We need your help to get there. So we've been crawling our way up there. Our subscribership continues to grow, but we need your help to try and get a little boost here in the last 5 or 6 weeks to get us to that number. So anything you could do, spread it to your friends, family, share out our videos, like our videos. That helps other people see our videos as well. All of that helps. So those little things that you can do that are just a simple click of the button if you enjoy the channel really, really make a difference. So don't think that, hey, I'm not really even doing anything that helps. All that stuff really, really does help. So, and it's so easy to do, just a click of your mouse or click of your phone and bingo, you're doing cool stuff. So please, by all means. All right. Look, we're not going to get our full-blown Knicks thing, but we got Wednesday, baby. Wednesday.
It's true.
The game is going to be on
one
Wednesday night, Boy Green. All right. It's going to be on Wednesday, bleeping night. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I may be in New York by then. I may not. I'm not sure. Like, I'm trying to swing here. I don't think I'm going to leave tomorrow, but it is distinctly possible that I might leave Wednesday. If I don't leave Wednesday, I think I'm almost certainly going to leave Thursday. So that's kind of what my week is.
All right, great.
But I got to work around our shows and everything. I got to figure this whole thing out.
We'll figure it out. No worries.
But I got to
head on out there.
I got to get down to New York for this craziness. I got to get amongst the masses here.
First time in 30 years.
With the New York faithful. It's pretty cool stuff. So I have all the peeps down there. I got the housing. Nice. It's just a matter of a couple of tanks of gas, baby, and I'm down in New York hanging with all the nuts. So I want to do that, and I'll certainly when I get down there, I'll take some videos and have some fun with that. So anyway. All right. So look, appreciate everybody today. We'll have Matt Lombardo as usual on our Wednesday live show. So we'll kick off with some of this NBA news, NFL news, excuse me. Maybe by then we might actually have an announcement on the A.J. Brown trade. And if there's really any legs to this Myles Garrett thing, that might already be on the table by Wednesday. We'll see. And then we'll do a full-blown preview of Knicks Spurs. It'll start that night. So game one of the NBA Finals. Who could believe it? The Knicks are back in the NBA Finals, and they'll have a chance to get revenge on the last team to beat them. It was in 1999 that the Knicks last went to the NBA Finals, and they lost to who? A really good Spurs team with Duncan, Parker, and all those guys. Ginobili. That was trouble. But that's the last time the Knicks have gotten there. And as we know, the Knicks haven't won a championship since 1973, folks. I mean, that's 53 years ago.
Yeah.
Most of us weren't alive when that happened. So keep it in mind, man. Come on. We are a beleaguered fan base when it comes to championship rings. And man, come on. You want me to drink that champagne. You see that champagne on my shoulder? You see that? You see that champagne on my shoulder? See it right there? All right, that champagne. We want that thing on ice in another week. We want to see an ice bucket with the champagne thing sticking out of the top in another week for the Manchild. Come on, baby. Root for me. Root for my Knicks. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, Boy Green, final thoughts if you have any before we close things out today.
I mean, good Lord. A way to welcome me back with all this news. Thank you for saving it all for today, Lurch. It was very kind of you with Odell Beckham Jr. And Russell Wilson and the Knicks in the finals for the first time in 30 bleeping years. Like, wow, crazy. So a lot to react to, a lot to respond to, and we'll have plenty, I'm sure, coming up with A.J. Brown, Myles Garrett, all these other rumors. So I can't wait for Wednesday's show. Lurch, you held down the fort last week. I'll hold down whatever forts need to be held down this week so you can get to New York with your son and enjoy some crazy Knicks NBA Finals basketball. Who would have thought that was possible? So amazing. So can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And seriously, thank you, everybody, for all the monetary support of the show. We're only 72 subscribers away, which is incredible, from 1,000. We're approaching our 1-year anniversary. We both feel very grateful for everything that's our way so far. So to the 100+ people in the room, please make sure you guys like the video here on YouTube. Also hit subscribe if you haven't already. Again, youtube.com/@MCShowDigital, guys. Make sure you help us push over the top. We appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Everybody have a great day. Enjoy the nice weather. If you're experiencing it like we are here in good old central New York, enjoy it. And we will be back live again on Wednesday. We'll preview the NBA Finals, and Matt Lombardo, our NFL insider, will join us as usual to talk all things NFL. Maybe some trades have happened by then. We shall see. All right, that'll do it. Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.